Hello and welcome to Innsbruck in Austria for the 2022 Lead World Cup season. We've done the bouldering, that's in the books, and now it's time for the athletes to take on that 15-metre lead wall and get a little bit pumped. My name is Matt Groom and I'm joined once again by Hannah Schubert in the commentary box. Hannah, how you doing?
Hello, thanks for having me back. Yeah, I'm doing well. Really excited to see that lead semi-final now. You already see the beautiful routes on the wall there. Really excited to see how all the competitors are going to do it now.
Absolutely. There is some, well, I mean, we're looking at them now. Women's on the right, men's on the left. And the men's big feature really is that enormous circle that you can see on the left-hand side. And the women starts with an interesting tufa-like sequence down low, which to both of us we thought looked fairly confusing.
Yeah, I feel like the whole route looks kind of confusing. Like both of them have a lot of moves, a lot of things to consider, a lot of things to look at. And I think they really made use of the 6 minutes of observation time now, because I'm sure there was a lot to discuss about.
Absolutely. Well, the athletes were out on stage before the broadcast started as they get to view this route. Now, Hannah, a lot has been talked about. Actually, I'll tell you what, let's look at this wall in a little bit more detail first of all, because it's pretty spectacular. It's right at the center of this arena. There it is, 15 meters high, dominates the space, 10 meters overhanging. You can barely see the top of it when you stand underneath, and it's a real feature of this arena. You can climb on it normally if you just come to the gym, but right now, well, it gets taken over by the IFSC and the route setters, and the walls and the routes go right up the middle of it. Earlier on in the qualifying session, we had, 8 routes on that thing?
So because we had so many competitors in this comp that we had to split them into 2 groups.
Well, all those competitors got narrowed down, and we have 26 men competing for 8 finals places and 27 women competing for 8 final places.
And interesting fact is that there will be no countback.
Okay, explain that.
Because there are 2 groups. Obviously, they didn't climb the same qualification route, so it would be unfair if there would be countback, because you cannot put them all into the same pot because they didn't climb the same qualification routes. So if there's a tie in semis for the last few spots in the final, then it would be possible that there are more than 8 people in the final, because there's no count back to qualification.
There we go. And it's going to be interesting, of course, because sometimes we see finals route topped by multiple athletes. So this is very important for all the athletes to put in a good performance here in the semis, just in case that happens and we count back to semi-finals.
Exactly. It's actually the first time in a World Cup that they had to do 2 groups. Like in the past, it was only at World Championships. So the last time we had it was World Championships in Innsbruck 2018. And I remember back then there were 10 women in finals, because in the semi-final there was a crux where a lot of people fell, and then there was no countback. So to have it in mind, in the back of your head.
Very, very good point. Yeah. So and this is the women's field, and there's 27th and 26th. Some big names in there, and also some athletes that had climbed literally last night. In fact, we were crossing them off, weren't we?
It was some people who were climbing yesterday morning in semi-finals, so already had a round yesterday, but then there's some who had 2 rounds yesterday with semis and finals of bouldering, which is Natalia Grossman, Seo Cheong from Korea, Futaba Ito, and Hannah Moyle.
So those athletes really put it all on the line last night. A very tough women's boulder final. We won't give away the results just in case someone hasn't watched that, but safe to say they really had to, they got put through the ringer.
We spoiled semis now, so we spoiled that they were in finals, but we're not going to say how well they did in finals, okay?
Absolutely.
Just to tell you how sick it is that they're climbing the second round of the day today and had 2 rounds in their body yesterday. So
they must be exhausted. I can't even work it out, because I mean, skin-wise as well. You know, some of those boulders very dynamic, very slippery, slopey, especially
I don't know
women's
how to do it.
too. Yeah,
they have to tell us their skin routine secrets.
Exactly, we need to learn that. So our first 2 athletes are out, and the men and women will be climbing at the same time. Domin Skofitz from Slovenia and Risa Ota from Japan will kick things off. Now, Domin Skofitz was an overall winner a couple of years ago. Perhaps lost a little bit of form over the last couple of years, up and down with consistency. He's qualified in here, and it'll be interesting to see where he's at.
Exactly, it's always hard to tell, but also qualification was tough. You had to climb so well to get into semis. Like, just saying, like, I was surprised to see so many people out of semis who actually climbed really well, but the field is amazing. It's stacked full. And it's always interesting at the first Lead World Cup of the season.
Absolutely, it's stacked. And let's talk about the sun, shall we, for a sec, because it is fully on that lead
I just
wall.
wanted to say, I hope they put sunscreen on.
Now, of course, sun makes everything harder. It gets slippier. The friction is worse. And for certainly the first few athletes out here, that's going to be a real problem. But as we progress, we're thinking the sun will move off that lead wall.
Yeah, so the conditions will be really different for the competitors throughout the semifinal, which is a factor, but it's hard to make it fair for everyone, I guess. Otherwise, you would have had to start the semi really late, and then maybe some people would struggle to climb really late. So it's hard.
Yeah, we're trying to make the best of the situation, and I suppose it's just another reason why you had to qualify in a good position, because those athletes who are down the end of the table, this is where they start to take an advantage of their performance.
Exactly, yeah.
So Domin Skofitz on the left, and that is Risa Otta on the right. And Domin is into the really thuggy part of this route. Lots of heel hooks and toe hooks through it.
But also the steepest part of the route.
Yeah, it's really overhanging through
It's really overhanging. I just wanted to say before, when we checked out the wall, it's 15 meters, but the climbing length is longer because you climb in such a steep part. So it feels longer when you climb, definitely.
And Risa Otta there is only just through the first section. That's because it is just a bit of an odd one. It's hard to read.
Yeah, and you don't want to make a mistake right in at the beginning of the route, so you want to climb carefully. But yeah, also not too slow. I mean, you only have 6 minutes. I mean, it should be enough, but still.
Absolutely. We haven't got a clock on screen right now, but we'll let you know if time becomes a factor. It usually isn't, to be honest, in these routes, but we will keep an eye on it for you.
It can be, but usually gets more of an issue at the end of the semi-final.
But Domin is going well, and he launches into this circular thing, which
hasn't clipped though.
No, he hasn't clipped. Yes, look. So that bottom clip down by his left foot. It's almost like
it's a bit scary.
It is a bit, isn't it? It's almost like he hasn't realised. But now there we go. It's fine.
I think he has realised, but it's maybe harder to clip it from before.
Well, Domin gets that in.
But the move where he cut loose looked like a hard move, actually, to catch that one.
Yeah, it really did. And we'll learn this route along with you guys. We know where the route setters think the hard bits are, but it's always interesting to see where the athletes find the difficulties.
Exactly. And they also have to find out while climbing, kind of.
And we lose Risa there. So that was where it starts to get hard for the women. I asked the route setters whether they expected any falls through that first section. They said no, it's just to make them feel a little bit uncomfortable and burn them out a bit.
And maybe some people are getting into the next section more pumped already because they overcrimp, because they're nervous, because they...
Exactly, yeah. So it's just psychologically a bit tricky for them. So now we switch our attention to Domin. We're going to go split screen when both athletes are on, and then switch to a single.
Another clip that he hasn't done and has to kind of go back to.
Oh.
Yeah. He was already on the right hole, but then he realized he has to come back to the clip. That clip is a bit out of the way. I mean, you're there first, but then you go to the right, so you have to clip it before. There's no chance of doing it later, I think. So that's also something that you sometimes read at observations too. So you try to read, okay, where do I clip from? Sometimes 6 minutes is not enough to find that out, especially when it's a route that has so many moves and it's so tricky. Then maybe you don't have time. But I know a lot of people who, if they have time, try to read as well where they're going to clip, because it can make a big difference if you have a good clipping position.
It really can. And remember, if you're new to lead climbing, the aim of the game is to go from the bottom to the top, and you have to clip all the quick draws on the route. You can't start skipping them Alex Honnold style and free solo that thing. You need to get them all in.
Even if you wanted to.
Even if you wanted to, which I personally would not.
No, me neither. It's crazy what he's doing.
Now, Alana Yip from Canada is in action. I saw on her Instagram how happy she was to be in semi-finals. Super chuffed.
Yes, she considers herself more as a boulderer, so she was like, oh, I did make lead semis, but not boulder semis. Like, what is going on? And yeah, she said it's the first time since 2011 in Boulder that she made a lead semi, so really psyched to have her back.
It is good to see her back. She joined me in South Korea for the commentating. It was great to have her. And on the left is Nimrod Marcus from Israel, who also competes in the boulder. And a lot of these athletes have been certainly chatting to me about how they would have preferred a little bit more preparation time for this Lead World Cup. And they don't necessarily feel like they've got the endurance at this point.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people would like to have a kind of a competition break between the end of the bouldering season and the start of the lead season because they want to train lead properly. But yeah, otherwise we couldn't have an event like this where there's bouldering and lead at the same time or like on the same event. But yeah, a lot of people I know are complaining that they're not having enough endurance, but most of them we're going to see tonight, so I'm pretty sure their endurance is still pretty good.
Absolutely, and of course, we have got half an eye on the Olympics in a couple of years' time when Boulder and Lead will be together, so perhaps starting to get into that mentality now is a good thing for some of them.
Exactly, and also lead routes tending to get more powerful and bouldery as well. Like in the past, I feel like a few years ago, we're still really, really endurance-based, but now it's also more dynamic and strength-based. So also as a boulderer, you have a chance to be really good in lead, even though you don't have the best endurance, maybe. Always depends on the route setting, though.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so key. And the route setters were tweaking these right into the very last second this afternoon. They're working very hard.
We probably had to check out like how qualification went, and then we're like, okay, we have to do it this harder, this easier.
Yeah, and it's slightly easier when you get a boulder route because I know it's still difficult. Oh, we lose Alana on the right.
Same move as Risota. There. It looks like it's hard to see where to hold the next hold, like that slot, because they're blocked. So it's really hard. It's also hard to see from the ground in observation.
Absolutely. And look, this is the toe hooks we're talking about. It can be fairly restful, but look how steep that route is. So it's more of just keeping you into the wall. Nimrod with double toes there to get that clipped, and then he will go left. And this is the move that Domin cut loose on, as does he. So a big swing early on.
Looked pretty good, though.
Yeah, it looks a little bit more solid than Domin. Domin was a bit more wild at that point.
Yeah, and he clipped already before, I think, from the pocket with the toe hook. That's also where I thought you would clip, but maybe Domin thought it was better later.
Domin was just braver.
Maybe. Well, it looks like that's where it starts to get a lot harder.
Oh, and there we go. As he came out to the left, that's where we lost Nimrod Marcus. So, 2 done for the men, 2 done for the women. If you're just joining us, hello, welcome to Innsbruck, Austria. Last night we were doing Boulder World Cups. Today it's the Lead World Cup, and it's taken me a while to get my head around the switch. It's like I feel like I've been talking about bouldering for a long time.
Yeah, that's true. We haven't discussed lead for a while.
No.
But I feel like, I hope we still know how it works. You know?
Yeah, I think I could just about remember. Hopefully, we'll find out in a bit.
The climbers can remember and change so quickly, so we have to do it too.
It's strange to suddenly see athletes who've been going around with just like a chalk bucket suddenly have harness and chalk bag on it. It makes them look a bit different.
Yeah. And there's one of them that we've just seen yesterday in finals with the chalk bucket.
Yes. So Futaba Ito was in action last night. We won't tell you where she came, so you can go and watch it, but she was in the finals. She spent some time looking up, and there's a man it's nice to have back on the scene, Sebastian Halenke, and what a character he is.
Yeah, always good for entertainment too.
I always forget he's 27. It seems like, I don't wonder if that's, yeah, he is 27, so yeah, he just seems to have been around.
Older or younger?
Yeah, I think he has, just because I've seen him in comps for such a long time.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, it's crazy, like even some people who are still young like have been on the scene for a few years, and just because they're doing so well, it feels like they were always there. You have to feel like, oh yeah, they're there for a while, but actually it's just been a few years, but they're just dominating so much, so that's why you feel like it's been a while.
Absolutely. So Futaba Ito cruising through the bottom bit. We have the leaderboard on the right-hand side. Now, the best score that you can get is a top. That's where you get to the last hold, but you have to clip the last quick draw. If you don't get to that hold, well, every hold is numerically ordered. So if you get to hold 33, you get 33. And the plus, that's for using a hold. So that's the center of mass and the hand towards the next hold. If that makes sense. So it's basically, you can see Sebastian here. He will get a plus when he goes towards that next one. And that is decided by the judges. It's always something that can be a bit controversial sometimes. We get lots of appeals around that subject.
Yeah, that's true. It's hard sometimes.
It's interesting the speeds of different athletes here, because with the previous two, the women were much slower, but Futaba Ito is motoring through this.
That's true. Yeah, she's a boulderer.
Exactly.
Or maybe more of a boulderer.
Has to climb quick before those arms explode.
Or she just figured out the bottom section more quickly.
So she hooks the rope around her foot. Be easier to make that next sequence. You can see how it's set up for it. And she goes into this blocked hold section. And Hannah, you were saying usually those holds are pretty good. They're usually jugs.
Yeah, they're usually pretty good, but when they're blocked and you cannot match and you don't have a lot of space for your hands, then they're not jogs anymore. And that's what the route set is intended to do here, using good holds, but making them bad.
Absolutely. So, Sebastian Helenke from Germany with that high toe hook in. Bumps out. And now this is the cut loose for him. Keep an eye on Futaba Ito as well, because she's through the initial crux we saw the first two women fall on. So
yeah, made it look easy, actually.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? Again, less wild. Futaba.
Ooh, that looked like a hard move.
It is. And
get that first crimp.
Yeah, and this is a crimpy section of the route.
Yeah. But actually, the start of it looked hard to like slide up there. But she's doing well.
Yeah, she is.
Putting on a fight. Come on.
Oh, finally she goes at the top. Head in her hands, she comes down. It's so bright on that wall, it's hard to look at.
Yeah. I think that actually, the sun might blind the climbers a bit too. Yeah, it's not only like burning on their body, it's also blinding them. The wall has been constructed that there's always a part in the shade where you could climb on and a part in the sun. So on the back of the wall, you could climb in the shade now, and in the morning there's the sun, and then the other way around. So this part of the wall is in the shade in the morning, but then the sun is in from like 2 or 3 on until it goes down.
It's quite a good training tool, isn't it? Because these athletes have quite a few outside competitions, you know, Chamonix, Villars here, and to have that facility is a good and useful training tool. Sebastian with a big jump up to the pinch, misses it, comes down.
It's a new high point.
That is a new high point. So Sebastian Helenke will jump up to the top of the leaderboard. We've got a long way to go.
But yeah, as you said, obviously it's a good training. Also, it's good to train in different conditions. Like, even though you wouldn't wish to climb in a semi-final like that, it can always happen. Same as climbing a really humid, wet semi-final. Or we also had really foggy, humid semi-finals in Villars before.
Yep.
So you kind of have to deal with everything.
I'll never forget Alex Magos climbing into a fog and us losing him on the TV screen. We didn't know where he was on the wall.
Yeah, that's Villars though.
Sebastian went a little bit high on that crimp. You saw it in the replay. It is ticked. The route setters occasionally put tick marks in to show the athletes. This was Futaba. Bit of a foot pop, perhaps. Watch that left foot. No, maybe, I think it was just a distance thing.
It was a distance thing, and she didn't get that left crimp really well. It also looks like a far move.
So that was Futaba Ito as she comes down. Once again, we've got these great camera angles that I hope you're enjoying as much as we are. Good to see all the details from this lead wall. There's cameras everywhere. I mean, around us there are cameras. There's cherry pickers with cameras. There's a camera guy on the roof over there on the left. So we've got all the angles covered for you.
Yeah. I think in lead it's also easier to get all the action covered more than bouldering, because in bouldering they're like spread out. Even though, especially when the semifinals at the same time, male and female, there's so many people climbing at the same time that it's hard to cover all the action.
So Hana Koike comes out from Japan, looking very nervous there. She was waiting in the tunnel. And Martin Stranik.
She's only 16 years old, as you can see there.
So not many competitions under her belt, so she has a right to feel nervous. Martin Stranik starting on the toilet bowl feature, as the route setters described it to me.
Okay, interesting.
Martin Stranik was so good last year, getting medals, making finals, had a real resurgence in his form. It'll be interesting to see where he's at in the 2022 season.
It'll be really interesting.
And Hannah, a bit more unknown, so it's going to be good to see what she does with this route. And it's like a Spanish twofer part.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Well, it's like a Spanish twofer part, but without the knee bars.
Yes, and not quite as pinchy in places.
Yeah, not as sharp maybe.
Martin Stranick off to a quick start. He'll enjoy this next part of the route. He's known to be a really powerful climber. This next section will require all of that power. And so much of lead just seems to be sort of, it's power management, isn't it, sometimes? Because endurance obviously is key on a lead route, but it's working out where to spend that power, how to rest.
Exactly, yeah. It's really like the management of where you put the power, kind of, and how you use it and how you deal with it is really important. That's also why the route reading is a really big part. And
and it always amazes me where the athletes find places to rest. It's pretty incredible. I look at a route like this and I think...
Also really different positions, yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to see those rests, but there you can see Martin in a pretty unique position. He's got a right heel in, a left toe hook, and he looks fairly comfortable hanging upside down.
That's true. But yeah, sometimes you even have to be strong to make use of a rest. Like sometimes, especially higher up, like people rest sometimes at moves or positions where other people fell. You're like, okay, other people maybe wouldn't have been able to make use of that rest, but because they're so strong, they could actually rest there. So, yeah, sometimes not about like seeing the rest or not. Sometimes it's also being strong enough for resting, kind of.
That's a really good point. So, both athletes nearing, I think, the first really hard moves of this route.
Hannah took a bit longer to figure out the bottom section, but
yeah, she's through it now.
She's not too tired now.
But this is the move for the women that we know is difficult, stretching up to that blocked crimp, and then the next part, it's a long, reachy move. You can see how far down, how low she is.
Yeah, Futaba really controlled that one. And she didn't get up there too dynamic. Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, good from her. So she's through. Hopefully with some energy to spare. Well, next to be struggling a little bit now.
Yeah, almost missed that right hold. No, there she goes.
I find you can start to see it on a lead comp more than a boulder comp when the athletes start to fatigue. As the elbows start to go up, there's a bit of a shake.
It's not so much of a surprise when people fall. It's more, you can like see it coming.
Yeah, you absolutely can. You can feel it like redlining for them.
Looks like this is a really hard move there. Sledge out to the crimp. Martin almost looked like he wanted to go right, like to the next one again, like kind of go right, left, like as a like double move, kind of.
Yeah, none of the men making it through that section yet. There's a big spring up.
Then he wanted to go again with the left.
Oh. So that's it for Martin Stranick. He will come down. And there's a couple of names in this list that we haven't seen all boulder season. Thinking Stefano Gasolfi, for example. He's back. Nice to see him in IFSC gear again. And of course, Janja Garnbret is in the stadium. And I don't want to overhype this, but I'm going to hype it a little bit because we haven't seen Janja since Maringin. And there's the Natalia versus Janja debate that's going on that is going to be interesting.
I think it's appropriate to hype it a little.
Okay, good. That's good.
To be honest, I think you're not the only one hyping it up, though. So yeah, I think I actually talked to Janja today and also chatted with her about not doing the rest of the boulder season, just Myring and everything. And I was like, yeah, when you were watching the bouldering comps, were you like, should have done that? I want to be there. Or we're like, oh no, I'm fine here. And she was like, at Seoul, she was maybe. But then at the end, in the rest of the season, was like, no, I'm good. So she said it was the best decision, and for her it was the right decision. She just said after last year with the Olympics and everything, she just said it was mentally so exhausting, like obviously physically too, but especially mentally so exhausting. So she decided this year it's only the lead season, which is still a long season, like doing the full lead season. But yeah, because that's what she wanted to do and decided to do, and she's happy with her decision. So Looking forward to seeing her back.
We'll talk about Janja more later because there's a lot to say. But right now, Georgia Tessio is on the right-hand side. She's an athlete who was in the semi-finals yesterday.
Yes.
So she might be feeling a bit tired. And then Stefan, your teammate, cuts loose and swings.
Sorry. sorry. That was a shock now.
You're allowed to be as biased as you want towards the Austrian team. And look, tell me about Stefan.
I think I would have been shocked when everyone would have done it because a foot slip at that position would have just shocked me because I didn't expect it. But yeah, I'm really excited to see him back in semis. He hasn't done so many semi-finals yet, but he's actually in really good shape and has been training really hard on this wall with these holds, so he should know the wall and the holds. But he's not really a fan of toe hooks, so he would love to get past this section really quickly, I think.
Absolutely. And he's,
as you can see,
mainly using heels.
Yeah, trying at least.
Yeah, he reluctantly stuck that toe in, but he's got it now.
I'm not saying he's bad at toe hooks, he just doesn't like them. So if it's possible, he always chooses to do something else than a toe hook. That's why he just went on really quickly without resting at that toe hook, I think.
Yes, but that might turn out to bite him later on. We'll see how much endurance he's got. And Georgia is through the bottom well, and now she has this sequence of moves that is definitely the women's first crux here.
Looks like Steph is coming really fast.
Yeah, he is. And he's nearing the point where we lost Martin Stranik going up to the first of those Rock City holds.
Looking good.
And that left hand is only on a sloper, on a pinch.
He kept that heel in on the left for such a long time. Like he didn't put it almost worked out. I feel like he was just a bit short on the right crimp.
Oh, Georgia gets the pocket. Good work from her.
Yeah, climbing really well.
She is. We're getting towards Futabar's high point, but not going to be. You can see 23 instead of 26 plus, so she will be in second place.
There was a move where I said it looked already like a hard move when Futaba did it. Not too easy.
I wanted to ask you about route reading because, I mean, you said earlier it's a skill, and it is a skill. How do you approach this? When you walk out there, you've got however many minutes it is to read a route. What's the first things you're looking for as an athlete?
I think there are a lot of different ways of doing it because I don't think every athlete observates a route the same. But as me and a lot of my teammates choose to do is like looking at the route once by ourselves, like just getting an idea of it, getting there, maybe touching the starting hold, and then just looking it through once by yourself, and then starting to discuss it with your teammates or other competitors, whoever it is. But then there are also people who like to do it right away with someone else, so discuss it right away with someone else and not alone, and choose to maybe look at specific parts with the binocular by themselves only, and you want to look for tick marks, you want to look for footholds, you want to look maybe for clipping positions, and especially sometimes with binoculars to look. Is it binoculars?
Yeah.
To look at it, just to know where to grab the hold, if there's maybe a screw on the volume, or how good the hold is. If you know the hold, so you know if you can go there dynamically or not. So there are a lot of things you want to look at in 6 minutes. So especially when the route is long and it has so many moves, then you have to kind of make the best out of the 6 minutes. And obviously discussing it with your teammates or other people is a big factor of it, and exchanging opinion. And sometimes you go back to ISO and then still discuss it with other people. Especially if there's like a really weird spot where you have no idea how to do it, then you like ask for different opinions and maybe have a plan A and plan B in mind.
Well, there is Mejdi Schalk, who has done well in the Boulder season. Had a rest in the last couple of comps, and now he's back for this lead, and he's someone who is very determined to make an impression on the lead circuit. He's still young, he's still learning, but as we know from his bouldering, he's very talented. And on the right, Aslana Skusek from Slovenia. Mejdi gets underway. Mejdi's dad is in the auditorium, he's in the stadium. He came and had a chat with me earlier, and he's so proud of his son. It's lovely to see.
That's amazing. It's always nice having parents here cheering for you.
Yeah. So let's have a little look at Lana here. She works her way through. And although we said this bottom section was complicated, the more athletes to do it, the more chalk is going to be on that hold, and it might become easier to read.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. And it looks like the sun is getting less strong now too. Still kind of there, but it's not as strong anymore. So temperatures will be better already.
Yeah, someone's actually shining a spotlight on Mejdi, which I feel is a bit overkill, but there is a spotlight on him.
Not necessary yet.
Maybe not yet.
Maybe he's just warming up for later. You know?
True. And there's one on Lana as well, actually, looking at the spotlights. Yeah, so it's coming up to 7:30 Central European time here. It's scheduled to finish around about 9:30, I think, so it will be night later on towards the end. Lana makes that high clip. Both athletes climbing well. Now, Mejdi's style was described to me as bouncy by someone the other day, and I thought that was a great description of him, actually.
Yeah.
He's just got that spring in the way he does things.
Yeah, he has a lot of energy, and he wants to put it all on the wall, and that maybe results in something bouncy. But it's cool to watch, I think.
Yeah, it is. You get some of the younger athletes come through who, by the time you've been on the circuit for a while, you'd learn the routes, you learn the movements, and you get someone new or someone young coming in, and they just read things differently, and Mejdi's one of those people.
Yeah, and I feel like it's always cool when young people come through and bring something new to the scene. If it is something bouncy, if it is something, whatever it is. Like, I think there's so many people with so many different climbing styles, and it's always cool to see something new coming up.
Oh, but a big foot pop from Mejdi there. Oh, and another one. This is going to be sapping him.
Come on.
You can see he's starting to struggle. How much has that cost him? And it has, and you can tell immediately he's disappointed by that.
It was like the hardest move of the route, so I feel like until there he was really fresh, but 2 foot slips on the, maybe not the worst holds, but really bad holds can cost you a lot.
Yeah, and we lose Lana as well as she comes down.
Now you actually see how well Futaba Ito did.
Yes, that's a good point.
I mean, it's not that she was like 10 moves further than that, but still, like, she came out pretty early and she did really well and made those move look hard, but not like that she almost fell there or something.
We know how much of a good boulderer she is. Perhaps then that section is quite bouldery for the women through.
That's true. And as we said, she was climbing really quickly too. Make the most of her bouldering endurance.
Well, let's look at this, because this is the move where we lost Mejdi, but really it was the sequence before this with the 2 foot pops that just sapped his energy.
Yeah. Even 1 foot slip is enough, but then a second one, it's crazy.
Yeah, these routes are so hard, and I know everyone wants to know the grades of them, and route setters will never tell us the grades. Not because they don't want to, just because it's hard to grade a route like this. But generally, we're looking around the 8C plus mark, maybe a bit harder.
For the men.
For the men, yeah. And then for the women, well, you say it, but for the women, I've been told when I managed to persuade them, occasionally women's routes come into the 8C category. So it lets you know the hardness.
I think actually sometimes it's just a plus difference between men and women. But I mean, with Janja and Natalia and all those strong people and Jessie in the category, I mean, I've seen some of our, like Jessie, for example, as well, try the simulation routes of the men, for example, and yeah, I mean, not that she was as good as Jakob, but she could definitely climb it, yeah. Like, not send it, but she climbed really well on it, so I feel like maybe to send it, the men's route is a lot harder, but to get far, it would always be interesting to see Janja on a men's final or something.
Yes.
Or on this semi-final route. I mean, I'm pretty sure she could have a really good burn on it as well. Sometimes it's just also the moves are longer and stuff, but otherwise...
Yeah, you're not the only person to have said that. There's a lot of people who want to see Janja on those routes.
Also with the boulders, right?
Exactly.
I feel like in bouldering it's even harder to put women on the men's boulders.
Maybe one day we'll see a comp like that. Who knows?
I feel like in the past when there were like maybe super finals, you know, when 2 people were climbed at the same height in the final, maybe they put it on the men's routes or something. I think that was the case sometime. Prove me wrong, but I have no idea. But I feel like once, at least maybe in a youth cup or something, they were just like, oh yeah, climb the men's final.
Let us know if you're listening and you know that one.
Yeah. It's fun though.
Absolutely. Well, Vita Luken is a competitor here who last year was making finals pretty regularly. She's very strong, powerful, loves these physical sequences.
And Mikael on the left, he climbed in a lead final at the FISU last week.
And you can see with that toe hook locked in, that's probably the first resting position with the right heel and the high toe, similar to where Martin got it. He comes out with the left, and he's having to look at that position he's in there, using the slopers, and those slopers have been in the sun as well. It's more positive than it looks from that angle. That's a better one to see.
Vita looking really controlled there.
So Vita up to the pocket. Will she get to Futaba Ito's high point? 26 plus is where we're looking for. She's down in fourth at the moment, 23.
Oh, made that look easy.
It's always interesting to see when an area we think is a crux, sometimes as we progress through the field, that crux sort of disappears and we get other cruxes coming through.
That's true.
So Mikkel, though, is coming to the first really hard bit, and that right quick draw isn't clipped yet, and he comes down.
Yeah, I think that blue circle section is really, really hard. Because also the first move taking a lot of energy from you, and then there's the crux move where some of the others fell. Oh, but Vita has passed the crux, like at a, not the crux, but there past the high point that we had until then by Futaba Ito.
Yeah, so you can see on the right, she's moved into the lead with 28, and now the challenge really begins for the women, because the next section with the yellow volumes, you can just see in the top left of your screen, that is the main separating point for this route. So that's where the route setters are expecting the finals places will be decided.
She's still looking really strong, like not pumped at all.
So up she comes now, chalking up all the way into the slopers, and they will have been baking in the sun, remember.
Looking good.
Looking very good. Nearing the final section of wall, the head wall, where it starts to steepen up, be less overhanging, but the crimps, they get smaller, and there you can see the blues.
Sitting on this hill, really comfortable.
So Vita Luken matching the sloper, resting in what looks like a not very good resting position.
Nah, but the heel really helps. Without the heel, I think that sloper would be pretty bad, but like this, you can put a lot of weight off her feet. Ooh, going back.
I think Vita's now having to fight a little bit, that heel.
I think she's trying to think where to put her right foot, because she wanted to put a heel on the right, but that didn't really work out. Oh, she's doing it out of the left heel.
So Vita now goes horizontal. She gets a high right foot, shakes out again.
Ooh.
Yeah,
now she's starting to look pumped, and that's a far move up there. Come on.
Oh,
that was strong.
Pinch.
Come on.
Into the second pinch.
Really fighting here.
Yeah, she is. This is a great performance from Vita Luken, getting harder than anyone else.
Oh, she wants to... She tried to put a heel, but around the rope, we couldn't do it. That was a really good performance, because the section through the yellow holds looked really hard and not easy. And then that move to the first blue on the last slab, really, really hard. And the next two, too. Like, she had a really good fight there. That was impressive.
So time will tell if that will be enough for the finals. We're a long way to go yet. Only athlete
Long way
7.
to go, but I think she will leave a lot of people behind her there. I mean, I don't think all the people coming up now will get past her. That was really strong.
Yeah, I think you're right. Another telltale sign that an athlete is in the last part of their climb is that they'll just forget about the quick draws a little and keep on going to try to get the plus, and that's what she did. I know she had the issue with the heel.
But sometimes it's better. I mean, sometimes people clip and then cannot do the next move, and some people do 3 more moves and haven't clipped, but it's still... They get the score because they weren't past the quick draw. So I'm not sure if she gets the plus, but probably she does.
Yeah, we'll have a look at the scores in a minute.
I think that's a thing I had to learn when I started competing World Cups, because in the youth, you kind of always were like clipping from really low and like clipping up, but not like down, and never climbing past the quick draw.
Yeah.
And then I remember I was in like first year of doing World Cups, and the coaches were like, Hannah, you can also climb past the quick draw and clip it from above, clip it from later. And I was like, but what if I climb past and I cannot clip it anymore? They were like, yeah, but if you clip before and then you fall, it's like...
Yeah, That's a good point.
Yeah.
And fear is an interesting one because obviously at this kind of level, these athletes have taken hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of falls. They're used to it. But as a normal average climber, when you look at this, they're taking some quite big falls. And for us, mere mortals, it looks quite scary.
Yeah, it can look quite scary. That's true. But yeah, usually it's not a big problem.
Especially when the route's that overhanging, it's obviously completely safe.
Exactly.
So Sasha Lehmann is out, always a popular guy on the circuit. And he can pull something out of the bag sometimes, can Sasha Lehmann. And on the right, Ignacia Quinteros from Spain is out.
From Chile.
From Chile, sorry, I'm so sorry. Can't read.
Sounds like a Spanish name.
A little bit, yeah. I hope you forgive me. So Sasha Lehmann breathes out. Haven't seen a huge amount of him. He did compete at some Boulder World Cups.
But I think he mainly concentrated on lead still. That's just more his style. He likes it better. And he's even better in lead than bouldering.
So Team Switzerland in action, and that is from Chile.
And as you see now, we have 4 first places there because there's no countback. Because maybe some of these people came out earlier, but because there's no countback, they're all on the same place.
Yeah, we'll keep
And again, there's no comeback because there were 2 groups in qualification, so there were 4 routes for the men, 4 routes for the women, so they didn't all climb the same qualification routes.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that because it might affect how many people, as Hannah said earlier, into the finals.
I still think there's so many strong people to go, so I think not making any predictions here yet, but I would be surprised if 33 plus would be enough for finals, just because I think there's so many strong people coming, and from 26 to 8 is like a really big step.
Yeah. Now, Ignacia there, I watched her in Voronezh for the youth championships last year, and she was someone who was a bit of a standout competitor, so it's nice to see her on the senior circuit starting to compete in World Cups.
Oh, she had a look on the crimp on the right, on the clip on the right, but didn't do it.
And she's come a long way past it now. Almost, I don't know how she's going to get back to that.
I'm a bit worried she cannot reach it anymore.
No, I don't
I
think
hope she can.
I think she's going to have to work. Yeah, because the right side is blocked. There's no way of getting that.
But maybe from here.
Oh, she's going through. I see what she's thinking. She's hoping to drop down and then reach through.
Oh, gets it done now.
Yeah. Using almost a foot to push that rope through the clip, and it's really awkward.
Come on.
So Ignacia having to fight, and we see this sometimes when an athlete thinks that the next move perhaps is in a better position. You go a little bit too far, you climb yourself into a corner.
She would just love to clip the next one already because it's easier to clip.
This is where this rule about having to clip the quick draw. She gets it swinging. That makes it easier to clip sometimes. Fighting with it now at the bottom of your screen. She still hasn't got it in. She still hasn't got it in. And then she falls.
Oh, what a shame. And that's why we were saying clipping position sometimes makes such a big difference. And also sometimes you have to be a bit lucky how you get the clip, because if she would have done it first go, then probably wouldn't have been such a big difference. But she had to climb back and climb again and then try again and couldn't get it in. So, and it's also messing with your head when you're on the wall, stressing you out.
Every climber knows that feeling when you can't get a quick draw in. It's a horrible feeling. Right, Sasha Lehmann is at the end of the circular section, but there's some big moves coming up which he will enjoy.
Oh, nice. He gets done the 33 plus move. First one to climb past there. Nicely done. With a big swing. A lot of power needed.
Sasha in the final part now. But this part it's quite intimidating to look at because the holds are so big, so bold.
Yeah, on some of them they're screw-ons and on some they're not. So that's also something you have to look at observation. You don't really see it from the ground with just your eyes probably, so that's why you need a binocular too.
And that's the screw-on you were talking about, that
little
little crim.
There. On the right, I don't think there is one.
Oh
no, a footstep.
Well, I was going to ask you about this because, right, so you've gone to your isolation zone, you're talking it through, you're remembering the route. How do you remember it? Because a boulder is fairly short. yes, there can be complicated sequences, but it's nothing like these. So how do you remember the exact places? Or is it more of an impression you get?
It's, first of all, in the 6 minutes of observation, you try to really get like the most out of the 6 minutes you can. And then I feel like you're more concentrating on the parts that you feel like you will struggle at, or feel like they're more complicated, or you feel like they're hard and you're not sure how to do it, and then you concentrate on that more. Some people are really good at memorizing routes. Some people, just have like kind of like a, you say, photographic
Memory,
yeah. But also when you go out and before you climb, you still have 40 seconds, or is it 45? I think it's 40 seconds, to look at the climb again before you get on. So it's nice to remind yourself. And but for me, it's not important to memorize the whole route in ISO. It's just thinking about specific sections that you think you will struggle at, or you think you will have to go through more, or that are unclear to you. But as you see now, she's going through the route again, just to remember how she planned it.
Yeah. We're trying not to give it away, but she had a good finals last night, and you can see the smile on her face. She's in a groove at the moment, I think, is Hannah Morrill, and has found something really different this year, especially towards the end of the season. That silver medal in bricks, and
I think people here know her already, or like from yesterday, so that's why you could see her smile as well when the speaker was introducing her there, and she got a big round of applause. So that's why she was like smiling even more, I think, because maybe already crowd's favorite. A little bit.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. There's something about her. She's very relaxed. She's very confident. It's the way she walks around, holds herself. It's interesting. Anyway, on the left is Giovanni Placchi from Italy as he comes up.
Yeah, a few weeks ago he was competing at the European Continental Cup in Arco in Lead. Had a really bad hand slip there in the finals and got 5th place. He was not happy about that. Couldn't show everything he's got. So he wants to do that now, yeah.
And he's campusing through there nicely and then gets the heel in.
He spent a lot of time training in Innsbruck in the past few weeks and months, so he should know the wall. And I would not say he feels like home here, but I'm sure he likes the atmosphere, and he had really good training sessions. So that's why he's also in semis now. He's strong and he trained well.
So Hannah is through the first part, resting with the high heel. She just assesses this block sequence. This is where it starts to ramp it up for the women. Giovanni doing really well through
also
the
chose
thuggy
to
bits.
put a heel there. Makes him shorter though.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of people. Oh, the big cut loose.
Oh, okay. Because someone else was putting a heel, but then switching it to the toe when he had the first, like the right hand on the blue one. But he just jumped out of the heel. I was surprised.
Yeah. We've seen a few try to put that toe in and then change their mind and put a heel. I've watched a couple of them do that. So
yeah, but then they switched it to toe again to do that move to the left. So I was surprised that he did that.
Yeah, and it was a big swing he had to hold. Hannah's into the crimps now.
And I think she will like that section with the crimps.
Remember the leaderboard on the right, Vita Luken. She came out and climbed 40 plus, which we reckon is going to take some beating. Hannah climbing through the crimps nicely. Almost Gaston's that hold as she bring the right in.
Oh, found a bit of a knee bar there, or at least a little bit.
Yeah, you're right. She's taking some of the weight off her arms. Giovanni is nearing the end of his circle. He's at 10 o'clock-ish on it. The end of the circle. It's the circle of climbing.
Oh no, foot slip.
Yeah, and he goes down, disappointing, but around about that point we lost a lot of the men.
Yeah, it's really a hard move.
Hannah had to be careful with that right foot. It popped as she placed it.
And that left heel is really safer, I think, at that point. because I think she started to look a bit pumped, but now with that one, she can maybe do a few more moves.
Yeah, and good flexibility to get that right foot down on the bottom crimp. She doesn't rest there for too long.
She also keeps the left heel in, like Vita. I think otherwise it's really hard to find a good foot positioning. Oh yeah, getting use of her flexibility, making use of her flexibility there. But that move, oh, she's trying to do it statically, I think.
There she is, the quick draw right by her head. She tries to figure it out.
Oh, tried to go with left there. But that was still a good fight. But yeah, as I said, like when Vita did that move, I was like, okay, that one is gonna be a hard one. Like I don't know if everyone's gonna do it because, like Hannah looked like she's trying to lock it off and do it statically, but I think for that one it's just really far. And Vita just went for it and was like, boom.
It was the smile she had when she was route reading and the announced her name to the audience. Yeah, so let's watch this again. She's on the sloper with the high right foot pressed in. And using her forearm to try to press through that move. Finally, she went up with the left hand to the pinch. I think Vita went with the right hand up to it.
Yeah. And she also clipped before Vita.
Yeah, so I think that was the last grasp to try to get a plus.
Yeah, it was kind of big fall too.
This was Giovanni, so that was the heel he had to get.
And he was jumping out of the heel there. That looked so sick.
Yeah, and that's what caused that enormous swing as he released it.
So strong that he made it work though.
Yeah.
Because he got really low in his shoulders. So it was really hard to hold the swing.
So we are nearing the halfway point-ish of this semi-final.
Gonna have a cleaning break in the middle too. Just to let you know if you knew.
Evgenia Kazbekova comes out from Ukraine. Really good to have Team Ukraine here in the stadium. Difficult times for them, so nice to see them competing here. And Satone Yoshida from Japan is on the left, wearing trousers. Was it you who told me it was because of the knee bars? Maybe it was.
Oh, it was not me.
Stasher, I think, was saying that some of the Japanese wear trousers for bouldering because of knee bars, despite how hot it is.
Oh, okay. I feel like it depends on the pants too, because some pants are more slippery than if you have shorts, you know? So, I don't know, I remember when I was rock climbing and I was climbing a route where you have to put a knee bar, and I had leggings on, and it was really slippery. Mm-hmm. And then I kind of tried it without it, like with a shorts, and it was painful because it was on rock and it was sharp.
Yeah.
But it was way better. It was not as slippery. So I think it depends on the pants as well. But I don't really know where he saw a knee bar on that route.
No, and it might have been. It was just I can't remember which athlete it was, but she was just saying that she talked to some of them.
Maybe he's just
Yeah,
cold.
maybe. If he is, he's wrong. It's boiling here in the stadium. But the sun has now come off the walls. That's good news for the athletes. As he stretches up. Quite good holds for the men, but it's a bit awkward.
But I think the bottom section of the men looks still pretty okay. Like, we didn't see anyone struggle.
No, they're fairly big. He goes out to the dishes. Evgenia easily through the first part.
Getting the clip done.
Yeah, thank goodness for that. That was heart-stopping stuff there earlier on.
Yeah.
It's a right foot smearing on the purple volume, left out, then gets the heel and rocks up onto it. Flagging underneath. Oh, look at that from Satone. Bumping his way up, trying to get some extra height. They look very close together in that shot. They're not as close together as it seems. There's quite a few meters between them, and it won't be distracting. It's our crane cam on the right-hand side, which is on a pole that goes up following the athletes. So he cuts loose and gets the toe high.
Evgenia looking really strong so far. Without any problems yet.
Yeah, she is looking really good. Very solid from her. Satone with double toes on the purple.
Oh. Nice swing out. look kind of controlled.
Did look controlled. I was just thinking that. It's interesting the differences when the heel's in, you have to have that big swing out, and how different athletes approach it.
Ooh, a foot pop from Finny there. Maybe it works though. Kind of a shocker. I feel like sometimes when you're in on the wall and a foot pops, you're also like, it's just a shock that you cannot get rid of for the rest of the route. It's just...
There we go, that could have been that shock.
I think now her heel popped actually.
Yeah, we'll see a replay of that in a sec.
Yeah, she's not happy with that. I think she had a lot more in her.
So Satoni crosses through. Look how bad that blue volume is.
Yeah,
he has got a thumb underneath.
Yeah, the thumb is important, otherwise it would be really hard. Ooh, but made that look pretty easy too. Made it look a bit easier than Sasha, I think. Just looked like less swing.
It did. He's very solid at the moment. Controlled with his movements. He's moving up the leaderboard. Check it out on the right. 36. Sasha Lehmann was up to 38 when he fell.
I also think the move that Sasha still did to the 38 looked hard, and then I think from there to go off was really hard. But Sasha didn't get the plus because he had a foot slip and didn't move. But I think that could be a hard move too.
Yeah, that was a big stretch for him. He was standing right on his tiptoes.
Yeah. And now putting the feet up.
Whoa.
Also a bit of a pop there.
Yeah,
this looking, yeah. Like that's what I thought already when Sasha was like trying to switch feet. I was like, oh, that looks like a hard move too. It was like you could see him thinking about putting his left foot up or a heel up, but then decided against it, and now it was really hard to hold the tension and hold the swing.
So he looks back at what happened. Let's see a replay of that. So this was at the end of the circle. This is where he fell, so check this out. So he gets the high right foot, and then a little foot swap there. Not too much of a problem, but as Hannah said, it might have just shocked him a little bit. And then a big swing out, came close to holding it. No feet on that move is a pretty big ask.
I think it's really hard to keep your right hand. You could see he still had it on for quite a long time, but just at the end, lost it. And then you have no chance of holding it. Like, not at all.
Look at that, it's a big reaction from him as he comes down. That was a good climb.
That top section looks really hard. I mean, obviously it has to be hard. The route is not getting easier towards the top, for sure.
No, it doesn't ease off, does it?
No, it
becomes a 6A towards the top, top out.
It was hard enough until now.
Yeah, no, it's relentless. And that was a foot swap step, you're right, yeah.
I think a heel pop.
So, slips, plenty of slips from the athletes so far. Next up, Duška Rakovic and Dimitri Voigt. And Dimitri had quite a scary moment last week during the FISU games. Yeah, he climbed way past a clip and spent about 4 minutes in a resting position trying to clap. Yeah, he did, yes. He was 4 minutes in one place, resting, trying to clip, resting. It was There
was that point when it was like, okay, he's not going to do it anymore. His height is actually 158, which is super small. It's the same as me. And I'm considered to be a small climber, even in the women's field. And being under 160 in a men's field, I think it's a rarity. Is it a rarity?
Yeah, so it's high. Well, I always think of Sasha as a smaller climber.
Yeah, but I think he's still above 160.
Yeah, he's still above, yeah.
Like, with 160, you're still considered a small climber in the men's category, I think. But yeah, and that's... also at FISU, I think he just didn't feel comfortable to clip it before and just went past it. And then he was, oh no, what have I done? I think everyone was just cheering him on to clip, not to climb further, to clip.
That was really intense. It was such a dramatic moment to go back and watch that. And it won't affect him now, but I'm certainly looking at it thinking, oh my goodness, is this going to happen again? Are we going to get one of those sweaty palm moments? We'll see. And Duška, again, so experienced, part of that Slovenian team that has done real magic with their athletes.
if you look at the result right now, it's actually pretty interesting. The women's field is split pretty well, actually. Compared to the men's field, there are not so many ties.
Need to get very slow and precise through this section. Every move is considered. Dimitri, look at that. You can see the stretch for him, bumping, same as Satone did. Luchka now decides to move, so she starts upwards. Interesting to note, the women's route has blockers for the bolts and the men's doesn't. So the men have to be a little bit careful they don't stand on a bolt, whereas the women don't need to worry about it as much on this route.
There are some for the men. The white ones.
Yeah. Oh, yes, for those, but not for the quick draw itself.
Oh, not for the quick draw itself. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I just meant like the other bolts are covered,
yeah,
but not the ones from the quick draws. Yeah, interesting. I don't know. Maybe they ran out of the covering holes.
Yeah, I think some of it might be time, perhaps, but maybe the finals route goes that way. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, Dimitri, that is a big ask for him, stretching out, fingertips on only. He's got to cross through and he can't make it.
He didn't really get that left crimp really well. And he didn't have time to adjust it, so that's why he fell at the cross.
So Luchka, slow and steady, is doing well.
Oh,
but no, as I said, it fell on the crimp, and that's a low fall for her.
That was a bit unexpected. Like, she didn't, yeah, as you said, she did look pretty good, and then she just...
Yeah, it looked like she was really maintaining her energy well through it. We'll see it now. Let's see. So, had the right toe in. That wasn't it. No, it wasn't a foot pop. It was just...
No, maybe just overpowered the move a little bit, or underestimated it. Maybe she thought it was easier. It's always hard to tell.
Yeah, every move, it was interesting from her. I don't think I've seen her climb quite like that before.
I think you also have to consider it's the first World Cup of the year. So also I talked to some people like on the qualification. They were like, I was so nervous. Like I felt uncomfortable. It was the first comp after a while doing lead, and I don't know. It's just like had to get used to it again. And then the second route is already better. But some people were just like, I was so nervous, felt so weird. But yeah,
it's like first day back at school, isn't it? It's
yeah,
just that butterfly feeling.
It's just that first World Cup of the year kind of feeling. I mean, first lead World Cup of the year.
Yeah. So that was Dimitri. He comes down. That won't be enough for finals for him. No, I'm not sure if we're getting... no, we have got the next two athletes waiting. They're not cleaning about yet. So Hamish MacArthur is out next. He's on the left. And remember, he was almost a triple world champion in Moscow. He won double world champions for the youth and then got right to the very top of the men's wall, came centimetres away from winning that comp. And then Melina Costanza, she was climbing in the FISU games.
In bouldering and lead. Did really well in both. Especially in lead.
Now, Hamish has been competing in the boulder, but I think he would agree with me that lead is maybe his specialism up to this point. He is starting to diversify into both, but certainly for a while he was all about the lead. Let's see how he can do here as he gets underway from the toilet bowl feature. And Melina Costanza on the two-for-like start. So Hamish presses upwards in these awkward jugs. You just have to be careful. They're not hard, but if you're a bit unsettled, a bit flustered, if you rush, they might spit you off. And Melina climbing confidently through. You can see the chalk building up, showing the athletes where to go. Into the undercling with the right, undercling with the left. And she nears the end of this part, opening section of the route, because no one wants to fall down low. We've seen it happen before, and it's so devastating.
So heartbreaking, yeah. And a foot slip can happen anytime. Obviously, foot slip can also happen with a lack of concentration and stuff, but still. Sometimes it's just...
Oh, well, there we go. I mean, as we said it, Hamish falls really low.
Oh, no, what happened there?
And he is, as we said, devastated by that. He was quite... We'll watch it again, because obviously unexpected to fall that early.
That's the thing, like, you don't really, I guess some of the people watching at home would be like, oh, I haven't even looked at that butter section like that closely before because nobody was really struggling with it and they were so quickly through it, and maybe we have not even seen it on screen so much. So maybe they're like, oh, I don't even know what could have happened there.
Yeah, it's worth remembering that none of this route is a giveaway. Like, it's
No,
all
obviously
hard,
not.
right
Obviously
from the second you pull on.
No, I'm not saying that, but
No, I know, but it's
Yeah,
easy to forget. I forget it sometimes. I think, oh, everyone cruises the bottom, and then suddenly you
yeah, and we were
realise.
just talking about it, like more about the women's route, but still, like
Yeah.
we were talking about in the beginning, it can always happen something. And also, kind of in a route, sometimes when you start, you feel a bit rusty. You just like have to get into the flow and stuff. And if you don't feel comfortable at the beginning, then you don't find that flow. Oh my God.
Lena comes down as well.
Oh
So,
no.
2 athletes falling quite early.
That was unexpected too.
Let's see some replays in a second about what happened there.
Maybe
Melina-
they're missing the sun.
Yeah, she went to the. I mean, I don't know what to call it, pocket, I guess.
Dish.
Dish, yeah.
But yeah, was kind of unexpected too.
This was Melina's fault. So she came up, she fell going to the dish, and she didn't quite have it very well. It was almost like she
Yeah.
sort of thumb pressed it. Let's see that again. Thumb pressed it. I mean, hit it with her thumb. Yeah, she went a bit above
she
it.
missed it a
perhaps,
bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
That was
not as
unlucky.
precise as she wanted to be on that hold. And then this was Hamish. What happened there? So the left foot starts to go. I tried to bump with the left hand underneath, tried to almost undercling that volume.
He's really tall. I'm just wondering if he just felt uncomfortable in that position because his knee was so close and he was just not fitting well into that position.
Yeah, look, he just wasn't comfortable. He was coming off that crimp and then tried to undercling the
Yeah, because
the
I
volume.
think he felt like coming out of the wall too much and losing body center and balance.
Yeah.
Just cutting loose. Then he just, like, I think the move switch in the left hand was just out of, like, being desperate to still stay on the wall. But that was unexpected.
Well,
Maybe it's, just didn't feel comfortable in that position.
yeah, it just shows, don't look away from this competition. Anything can happen. So jump up from Slovenia. Air climbs her way through it, remembering the route. And Hannes Boomen, he's up from Team Sweden.
You see the crowd there, pretty full here. It's good to see. Yesterday at women's final of bouldering. Pop screen for Hannes there.
Yeah, he's quite
He's
a personality,
psyched,
is Hannes. Yeah.
But yeah, yesterday at finals, unfortunately, there were not so many people left. I mean, there were people who stayed until the end. I was one of them, just saying. But it was brutal. It was raining so hard, and obviously it's a less nice atmosphere also for the athletes competing. So
Sure, yeah.
now it's nice that these people competing have like also people cheering and a lot of, I guess, that crowd of people.
Yeah, it was a real sort of battle situation. The rain just was unbelievable last night. It started raining as everyone came in, and it just continued all night. The commentary box next to us got flooded. We were luckily protected, but it was really wet.
It was really cool that they made it work, though.
I know.
I thought they have to cancel at least part of the boulders, but yeah, that was cool.
So Hannes is coming up to where Hamish slipped. And now suddenly you start to look at sections differently when you know an athlete's had a problem. You
Yeah.
start thinking, oh, okay.
For sure. He's also not looking too comfortable right now.
No, he's not,
Is he there with the wrong hand? Oh, now he's coming back. Making space for his hand.
He's going to make a clip down low. Gets that in, so that's something less to worry about.
Going up with the ride.
So Sarah is coming up.
Seems like Hannes is also looking for something else. Oh, there is a hold on the left side.
So he's got the right in. This is similar to Hamish. Gets his feet, matches like Hamish did.
What is going on?
Yeah, maybe it's I mean, we're close to the cleaning break. It could be a friction thing, perhaps.
Yeah, it could be.
Interesting. Okay, well, just when we thought we knew it all on the bottom section,
Just
suddenly
when we
things
thought
change.
the bottom section's not a problem, it becomes a problem.
Hannes down climbs cleverly, though. He's not pushing on. He's going down, resting, reassessing.
But it's taking some energy still.
Yeah.
And it makes you nervous. Again, it's messing with your head. Oh no, we're losing Sarah too.
Same move as we lost Melina just now.
We thought actually to go from the dish to the next one might be a hard move too, but now going to the dish also looks like a problem.
So let's see if Hannes can do it. He's having to fight. He goes. Oh, no, we lose him too.
Footstep.
Ooh, okay. Well, look.
Now he's took such a long time going back and forth, and now it's just a footstep as well.
Yeah. Well, the plot thickens here on the stage.
It's good if there's a cleaning break now.
Yeah, and it's coming up, so it's about 10 minutes this cleaning break. We're going to show you lots of awesome replays, so don't you worry, there's going to be lots of action going on. And the reason that the route setters clean it is, well, for reasons like this. It starts to get slippy, the chalk builds up.
Okay, but there is a hold in the left side too.
Yeah.
Now I'm wondering if the other people did right, left in, and then up, or if they matched like Hamish tried. I have no idea because I didn't look at it closely enough.
I know, you start to really micro-analyze something. When you see an early fall, it becomes all important.
But then when the next person just does it, then you're like, oh, okay, that's how it's done.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Oh, fascinating stuff here. This was Sarah's fall. She went over as well.
She went over as well, yeah. I think I saw some athletes still having their feet on the left, and then maybe you have to be a bit taller for that, I don't know, but then you're maybe more controlled to move up, and maybe you have time to look where the dish is.
Well, that's not a climber, that is an official, as you can see, and his job is to clean the route. So he'll haul himself up using the quick draws, cheating his way up, of course, to clean the holds.
You're not allowed to do that as a climber.
No, it's frowned upon for sure. And the route setter on the left is coming up to where we saw those two early falls. Let's have a look at the leaderboard. So Tony Yoshida leading the way, 38 plus. Just behind him is Sasha Lehmann and Sebastian Helenke, Martin Stranik, Stefan Schretz, Mejdi Schelk.
They're all tight,
Yeah, very tight at the top. So look, we won't spend too long looking at this because things are going to change around here, we expect.
Yeah, we only had half of the people climbing yet, so there's still half of the field to go.
Well, Hannah, we are halfway through the first Lead World Cup semi-finals. How are you finding it so far? Is it nice to be back?
It's nice to be back. As I said, I haven't done Lead for a while, so it's just different. It's different action to talk to, but I feel a bit sorry that sometimes we're like in the middle of talking about something and then people fall and we're not really talking about it, or like, because sometimes, it's so hard to tell because some people just climb into the last slab, so you kind of feel like you want to fill up it until then.
No,
but
absolutely.
We had some surprises, so now we have to be more careful.
Well, there's a lot to talk about with Lead as well. So,
and
with 26 athletes, it's good to discuss all the interesting features. Well, that is what surrounds us here in Innsbruck. The sun's starting to dip as the shadows cover the mountain, and Vita Lucan leading the way with 40, way above everyone else at the moment. Hannah Moyle, though, she was close-ish, 37 plus for her. And man, she must be feeling tired after the finals last night. And you can see the rest of the athletes round about that 26th, and then lots in the 23s, 22s, showing where the difficult sections are for these athletes.
I was surprised by a few falls there.
That's who's to come. Molly Thompson-Smith will lead us off after the cleaning break from Great Britain. She hasn't done bouldering really this year, focusing on the lead.
Yeah, she was one of them that I talked to after qualification who said she was just feeling really nervous in the first route and just, she could feel that it was the first comp of the year in lead.
Janja Garnbrett down the bottom. Okay, now's maybe the time to talk more about Janja because she came away, she won Maringin, then went away, took a break. A lot of people are talking about her wanting to clean sweep the lead season. But look, before we chat about Janja, let's watch some of the highlights from earlier on in the first half of this semi-final. Well, that was some of the amazing highlights from earlier on. Hannes Bullman coming down. Big falls from him and some late drama in the first half of this semi-finals. So our crowd wait as the route setters have now come down from the wall. They've done their cleaning job. And in a couple of seconds, we will see the first athletes as we move on with our competition into the second half. Remember, the athletes come into this in the opposite order. So the ones coming out first qualified in last position. The ones coming out first, last qualified first. So Janja Garnbret will be out last onto the stage, and Jakob Schubert will be out next. He won last year, of course. And the crowd will very much get behind their hometown hero when he enters the arena. The sun now has cleared the stadium finally. We get a bit of shade, some relief for the athletes who have been sweating out there under that heat. Things will cool off a little bit for them. Slopers might become better. Time will tell. And our audience has been filling in from the moment the gates opened, flooding the space. There's a bit of a festival atmosphere going on, which is lovely to be part of. People having a few beers out there. Let's have another look at our lead wall, shall we? This 3D rendition. There it is. 15 meters high, but the routes will be much longer than that as they weave around, especially with that overhang. And the overhang from the base to the top, 10 meters. One of the biggest walls in terms of just sheer size that we have on this World Cup circuit. And you can see that's what the athletes face when they look upwards. The audience packed in behind, cameras watching, the eyes of the world on them. So yeah, we're talking a little bit about the return of Janja Garnbret. There's certainly conversations going around about what she wants to achieve this year. Remember, she's clean swept the bouldering circuit before. Hasn't done that with the lead, and people think maybe that's what she wants to focus on, or perhaps that's one of her aims. Of course, her aim is to win everything, but how much would she love to add a clean sweep of the lead as well as a clean sweep of the bouldering? So the route setters have cleared out, they're gone. Our route is freshly brushed and ready to go. It'll be very interesting to see whether that red section that we saw Hamish fall on and then Hannes fall on, whether that is a little improved now. Well, Molly Thompson-Smith, she was waiting.
She's like, can you get ready? I want to climb.
Yes, come on. Get those shoes on. There is Molly Thompson-Smith.
Getting a fresh route now.
Yeah, and it is a bit lucky, perhaps, if you're the athlete coming straight after the cleaning break. I mean, it's not a huge advantage, but it's a nice psychological boost. You know everything's fresh for you.
Yeah, and it can make a difference. Like, obviously, you still feel like it's not new holds, like still someone climbed on them before, but it can still make a difference. Yeah, especially for the men. I mean, look, we saw 2 early slips for them, and maybe it was just a route reading by 2 athletes that happened to be that way. Maybe it was the texture. We will look at it closely now.
We will now pay full attention to the bottom of this route, and that is Jessie Gruper from USA makes the clip, and Molly Thompson-Smith gets underway on the right. Molly is a really lovely person, lovely climber. A lot of time for everyone. It's good to see her back. Just feeling her way slowly. We know it's a bit tricky, this bottom sequence. You have to be, it's better to be slow and careful rather than to rush and slip, especially for that women's side.
For sure. To find the right balance of not being too quick, but not losing too much energy and too much time there.
Yeah, and Jessie, I'm really looking nervously over at that side now. All right, let's see what happens. So, this is where we lost Hannes and Hamish.
We're curious now.
So he's pinching. There is a hold under there. That's what Hamish tried to undercling, as did Hannes. Matching it as before. And he just...
Oh, but like as an undercling, like he turned his hand.
Yeah.
He was matching it as an undercling. Hamish matched it like as a crimp. And Hannes took a hold inside. So they tried it differently than Jessie did it now.
So we think it might just be route reading then. But certainly not an easy part. And Molly is through the first section easily for her. And she now is in the blocked holds. Turns them into little crimps. Right toe out, she drills it in, continues upwards. As Hannah said, she was feeling a little bit nervous coming into it. Hopefully those nerves are settled after the qualification.
Come on, Molly.
Oh.
Nice, just getting it.
Just, yeah.
Yeah, I think if you miss that, it's really hard to like fall down into it and still hold it.
Hannah on the first crux, through it in the pinches. Jessie doing as well, bumps that triple bump move we see.
Yeah, I think Molly was the first one to cut loose on that move, but still holding it. The others, I think, kept their feet on.
I've seen Molly do that before. It's almost like that's her preferred method, and occasionally for her, it's good just to thug a section out and then get on with it.
Yeah, Molly is also not the tallest, so if you're smaller, sometimes you feel like, okay, if I'm trying to reach, but then I'm too low, I cannot hold it. So better go high enough and cut loose of my feet and getting ready to hold the swing instead of maybe cutting loose unexpectedly and then being too low with my body underneath it to hold it. So, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Better to be in control of the swing rather than have one coming out of nowhere. Molly doing really well, climbing quickly as well. And Jessie, I always think it's harsh when a route goes so far to the left. It feels like you've done a lot just to pretty much go a meter upwards.
Yeah, that's true. But it also was interesting. The qualifications were really, I think, especially some of the women's routes were really short. So they didn't have a lot of holds, like, I don't know, like 30, 33 or something. Because I saw someone falling at the last slab and they're 27. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, they were more straight up because they had to fit 8 routes onto that leaderboard.
It's a bit unusual.
Molly is doing really well. She's up the
tried
leaderboard.
To find
that toe might.
Toe hook here.
That's the first time I've seen it, I think. Gets it in.
Has to find that heel on the left. Has to stack up first. Ooh,
that's a physical move. She gets the left in and looks for a foothold.
She didn't really find that like rest with the heel. She didn't match and she didn't really lean over to the left. Maybe she felt less uncomfortable than the others did.
And Molly is up into third, I think, before it flicked. And Jessie's doing really well as well. He's gone through that crutch move.
He's resting there. Found a resting position where other people fell.
He has. It's very relaxed, doesn't he? Looks down at the clock, checks everything's all right with the time.
We don't really see the clock from here, but I don't think it will be a problem yet.
No.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice. New high point. Doing that statically, that was really...
Yeah, Jessie's doing really well
strong.
Forward. So, high left foot has worked his way through.
Oh,
He's getting pumped now, isn't he?
Yeah, it looks hard. Come on.
He's in first position. That was strong.
Even clipping, sitting on that volume.
Wow.
Nicely done.
Jessie Gruber, welcome to the stage for you, sir.
Doing really well. Come on.
Oh, he's still on. What a fight from this man. Every move looked like it would be his last. Elbows out, but he's still continuing.
Oh, nicely done.
He might top here. He's very, very close.
It's very close to the top. Are we going to see an early top?
I think he's looking for a pop. Oh! Ooh. Wow, that was exciting. That was
a
great.
Really strong performance. Wow.
My fingers are so sweaty as I watched that. Every move, I thought, that's it. Surely that's it.
Yeah, exactly. Like until the move where I think was it Satoru Yoshida who was in the lead before fell. He looked pretty solid, to be honest. But then also that like frogs it on that volume, I think that was really helpful because first he looked like he's gonna pop up with the right foot still out, and I think that would have been a bad idea because he would have had too much swing. But then that frogs it on that volume, and also all the moves like with the crimps, that was amazing.
Like he missed the screw on, went to the left of it, couldn't quite get the movement over to the right.
The funny thing is there's a tick, but the tick is on the screw on because probably on the plastic it was not working because the other, like the black part on the rest of that one.
Yeah, the slippy surface, yeah.
So, yeah. So I think the tick mark doesn't really help a lot.
And Molly, that was where she fell, but good fight from her. She was in third. So, Molly putting in a good score. We'll have to wait to see whether that will be enough. She's halfway through this semi-final, so there are a few athletes to come. This was the fight. She got it, but was always going, I think. And then Jessie just continued onwards. It was an amazing battle from him.
It was amazing.
Oh, we've had it all here, Hannah. We've had early falls. We've had surprise almost tops. What a great semi-final. Well, 2 Italian teammates will be out. Camilla Moroni.
Italian power.
Italian power. And Philip Schenk.
Camilla also competed in the semi-final yesterday in bouldering. Probably one of the athletes who would wish there would have been more time between bouldering and lead. I mean, not like in this comp, but like in general to train.
Yeah.
I don't think she had so much time for lead training during the whole bouldering season.
But I suppose everyone, not everyone, but a lot of these athletes are in the same position at least, that they've been doing the boulder and the lead, so at least they're at the same level. I know we've got some who just do lead.
Yeah, there are a few lead specialists, but yeah, that's true. So
that grading, by the way, is not for those routes. You can see 7A and 7A plus down there. That's not this one.
Yeah, I know. Like usually actually the wall is a bit shorter too because there's the stage as well. So you can see usually the signs that you could see there are a bit higher up. So it's like, I don't know, 2 or 3 moves shorter than usually. So when you come training at KI, the wall is even a bit longer. So in case you were fearing it was not high enough for training and you wouldn't get pumped.
It is.
I can assure you.
It's plenty high
is.
enough.
Yeah. There were a few people here training like a few weeks before the World Cup, and then after like their first route on the outer wall, they were like, it's so long. They were like, I don't know, the second last quick draw, and like, it's still not over.
Yeah. But I find that indoors as well. I don't know, maybe it's a psychological thing, but it just goes on forever in there.
Yeah.
Says the boulderer speaking here.
Same when you're belaying, you're like, still not up there?
Yeah.
What are they doing?
Hannah getting bored, belaying down the bottom. Come on.
No, because I'm taking the same time. So I'm like, I know what I'm doing.
Well, Camilla Moroni makes good progress. Oh, she's trying to crimp the blocked section of that wall. I mean, there is a little bit of a crimp there, but it's not really enough.
Nah, but she wanted to be sure to have space on the left, which is understandable. But she made it work otherwise, too.
So Philip bounces his way through the fridge huggy move.
Camilla on the dishy pocket
gets
move.
Gets it nicely. I get nervous now with that move. Now I've seen it go wrong a few times.
And this one too.
It's a big move, and she's making it a big move.
Oh. But it looked pretty solid still.
Yeah. Twisting through. So Philip is about to potentially cut loose. We'll see. Gets the toe in. Uses that to rest. And that's a good shot to show just how overhanging that wall is. Always look at the quick draws when you see a route like this, because sometimes from the front perspective, it doesn't look overhanging, cutting loose. You'll notice the angle the quick draws are hanging. That can tell you the angle of the wall. Oh, Camilla comes down.
Yeah, we lost Camilla there.
Philip having to battle as he... Oh, and big foot pop. I don't think he'll recover, and he doesn't. That was too big a slip to pull back.
Yeah, it was one of the worst spots to have a foot slip, I think.
When it's that
the
overhanging,
right hand only on the thumb.
Yeah. And you swing so far back when it's that over. Your feet have been tucked in and you lose it.
You actually could hold there for a long time, but I think it was also... Was it the heel that popped there? Yeah, okay. With the heel, it's even worse because there's even more weight on it usually, and then... Especially an unexpected heel pop.
Oh, look, he tried.
But even with a slip like that, if you hold it like to recover from that, it's crazy.
Yeah, if you're on a red point burn, you'd stop there, wouldn't you? Or you'd fall and then you'd be like, well, that's done. But of course, they have to try.
Was Camilla.
And the crimps. Let's watch this. That's a good angle. So let's see this.
I missed it a little bit too.
It's a nasty hold, that back behind it.
Yeah, it's just getting really strong in the shoulder.
So the two teammates are done. And up next for the men is a man we haven't seen in a while. It's Mr. Stefano Ghisolfi, who will be out next for the men, and Ryu Nakagawa for the women.
We've seen her last week at Fizu, so not too long ago.
No, but Stefano, it's been a while for him.
Yeah.
So she comes out. Stefano Ghisolfi, who's another character. He's grown in popularity as Stefano. Lots of films about him. He's got his own YouTube channel. He's just become... It's interesting, the more you... the climbers who have YouTube channels, it's kind of quite accessible. We learn more about their lives.
That's true, yeah. More behind the scenes.
Yes, exactly. See their training, their battles, their struggles. They're more human to us rather than these superheroes. So Stefano has a lot of experience here. He's done this many a time. If anyone remembers back to Briançon, where he was hanging off a yellow volume, literally just using friction alone.
So impressive.
Moment of the season for me.
Campus, like, yeah. That was the moment, yeah.
That was incredible from him. So let's see what Stefano could do as he begins his 2022 season. But remember, this move, if you read it wrong, it causes you all types of problems. He matches it, but with those thumbs under.
I think also the foothold is not really comfortable. You don't really want to put a lot of weight on it. Oh, now I'm already nervous for Jakob to come on with that move.
It's worth remembering Hannah Schubert here in the commentary box with me. Her brother is climbing last here this evening.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
At least I will know exactly how far he has to come to get into.
That's true. And you can't shout it at him. Okay, that is cheating.
Yeah, no, I'm not
You got a laser shining on the wall.
Nah. I would never do that.
So Ryu doing well as she gets through the bottom part. Stefano Ghisolfi resting high up, bumping those hands, getting a high left toe. Oh, that's very awkward, especially to make that clip. He rethinks. Double toes on the left. Gonna have to watch the swing, but he gets the left hand locked in, and then he can release it. Ryu Nakagawa matches the blocked scrimps. Stefano working on those holds.
Looking good so far, though.
He gets the crimp, and this is the first tricky move really for the men. This cut loose, up he comes. Swings out and then gets the foot back into the dish. Right, keep an eye on Ryu because this is the move here.
Yeah, but she keeps her feet low, as I said before. It's just, I don't know if it's the best way for all of the competitors. It depends on your height, I guess.
She's a bit taller.
And just also how you like it, like if you feel more comfortable with having your feet higher or more far away.
Stefano nears the end of the blues. Out to the right. This music is not helping the sweat situation in my hands. I'm getting nervous. Ryu coming through.
Building it up.
He's building it up. She's on the crimps.
Oh, Stefano.
Oh,
no.
It's a huge slip from Stefano.
Another foot slip. And it also means he doesn't get the plus, I guess.
Yeah, and that's not going to be enough, I don't think, for finals. Where is he now?
No, if he didn't get the plus even.
No. So Stefano Ghisolfi, a surprise slip for him that will leave him down the leaderboard. Meanwhile, Ryu Nakagawa is doing well. She's up to 4th.
So many foot slip on that blue volume as well. Like on the crimp on the blue volume.
Knee bar locked in. We saw a few people getting that. Molly got it. Hannah got it. Crossing underneath.
Still looking really solid. Not too tired.
Yeah, she's looking great, isn't she? This is where Molly had to start working.
Ooh, she's going up with left. Oh,
right.
And back.
Yeah, went up. Now she changes her mind.
Oh no, cutting this. Yeah, I think that took a lot of energy to go up with right and then back again. I think that move feels a bit uncomfortable to go up with left, but then when you have it and you get the heel in, it's more comfortable. But I think it feels a bit like a bit risky to just go up with left and slide there, yeah.
Yeah, sliding off that sloper. He was up to 4th, just behind Molly Thompson-Smith. Stefano Ghisolfi was also climbing. Early fall for him.
Vita Lucan still in the lead, as we predicted.
As you predicted, that was your call.
That she would stay there for a while.
Yeah, that was a good call.
It was my call. But I still, like, yeah, Still so hard to tell if it will be enough for finals because there's still so many coming, but I knew it was a good performance because she had to fight really hard and she did a few moves that looked really hard.
Yeah, it was a good call because she's been up there for a while. And this is Stefano here. He didn't look that comfortable in this sequence.
On this one?
Yeah, he had. I
Early?
mean, he had it. Obviously, he had it,
Yeah.
Stefano Ghisolfi, but he just looked a little bit. I don't know, maybe nervous. And then this was the moment he look at the foot slip,
Oh, it
big
was on
foot
the
slip.
higher one. Okay. It was a big foot slip, like exactly when he wanted to pull. So
Oh. And he tried to drop down to save it, but it wasn't going to
Yeah.
happen. Okay, this
gonna
is
start with the top 10 now.
yeah. Here we go, and Alexander Topkova will lead us off for the women, and then
It's top 10 for the man, top 11 for the women because there's one more.
Romerick, Jeffrey for Team France, who you watched recently compete.
Yeah. French champion.
Romerick comes out. There he is, the French champion. Alexander Topkova, who's got rid of the all-green suit that she was wearing for the whole of last season.
Yeah. I don't know if it was her choice though. I think, yeah, there you can still see it on picture.
Yeah, it was an
Yeah.
interesting uniform. I always think it looked just so hot and uncomfortable, so it's nice to see her
Yeah.
looking a little bit freer. But look, she's still very young, and she has this style. I don't know if she's changing it this year, but when she climbs, it's not the most flowy thing you've ever seen, but it's really exciting because it's quite staccato, it's quite jerky, and yet she has this ability to hold on.
That's true, yeah. I feel like she's one of them, one of the climbers where you maybe think like 10 moves before she falls already that she might
Yes,
fall.
I'm like, she's definitely going to go. Here we go.
Yeah,
Oh, she's
and then
still
she just
there.
stays on and she's really good at fighting hard, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just her style of climbing. It's
Exactly,
Yeah.
and when I first watched her, I was like, it doesn't look very good. You know, you think she's always going to fall, and then the more you get to learn that style, it becomes
Yeah.
more exciting because
Yeah.
you just can't really tell when she's
Yeah.
about to fall and when it's just her.
That's true, yeah. But also we saw some unexpected falls today, so it's just sometimes really hard to tell when people will fall.
They don't give us much of a
Because-
chance, do they, these athletes?
Yeah, you're like, oh, they look really solid, and then they're just suddenly gone.
Yeah.
And some of them without like a obvious mistake or something. So not where would have said, oh, okay, yeah, obviously she fell there because of that. Or-
Yeah. So Romerick looking good through here, easy, as he makes that bump up.
I just realized because they're always waiting for each other and they let people climb at the same time, and we have one woman more than men, that means Janja will climb alone for sure.
Oh, God. Ramps up the drama, doesn't it? I mean,
You didn't want to put too much spotlight on it, but
well,
they
no,
did.
you gave me full permission. I don't need much permission to go dramatic, so I was very happy
But the
with that.
organizers were like, oh yeah. Nah, obviously they didn't know there will be 27 in semis in front of men,
But
for the female.
It's quite poetic, so I do like it.
Yeah,
So there is Alexandra Topkova swinging the feet to the left.
but I mean, yeah, Janja's used to the spotlight, so I don't think she will really.
I think she
Yeah.
might enjoy it. There we go. Here we go.
The show starts.
So Alexandra gets going with that style we were talking about. Romerick as well, doing well with the heels. Bumping up.
Here's the toes.
Also toes, yeah. Switching the feet over to the left. Similar to how Stefano did it, then bumping up to the dish. Alexandra again wanting to go to the bottom of that blocked hold.
Oh no!
Another foot slip.
It was a slip off the heel. Oh no, that was unfortunate.
So the French champ is gone. He won't make finals 15th at the moment. And those blocked hold, good angle to see it. Just limits the amount of space the athletes have to get their fingers in.
I was surprised that so many people put a heel there because where he fell now, because I always, like, just from looking at the route, I was pretty sure you're going to put a toe. But maybe it feels too close to put a toe, because for the toe it's kind of nicer if it's a bit more far away. So that's why some people chose to put a heel and then switch to a toe later. But I feel like the heel, it's really bad if it slips. You have like no chance of holding on anymore.
Yeah, we'll see replays of that when Alexandra has come down. Right now she is in the crimps.
And doing well.
Doing very well. Up she comes. So she moves up the leaderboard, now in 7th. Remember, each hold is numbered, so the higher she goes, the higher the score.
That's the spot where we left Camila Moroni before, going to that shoulder crimp.
Oh, having to fight, but that might not mean anything for her. We just don't know. It's so exciting to watch her. That's what she's having to work with.
Yeah, sorry. So also some people just do one move and then they have a fight phase on and you feel like, oh, they're getting to fight now. And then they're shaking out again and looking like in a 6A again. So it's always hard to tell.
Yeah, that ability to recover is what really sets some of these lead climbers apart. So she enters the volume resting, chalking up before she goes. She knows this will be a bit slippy.
Oh, she also tries to go with the toe. Slightly differently now.
So she's on the final third of this route. This is a tricky move, though. Will she be able to make it work? Oh, a big slip again with that left.
Just miss it a bit.
Yeah. I mean, she brought that left foot way in. I'm not sure if it was a slip or she was just trying to get the body weight over.
I think first she was looking for something to put her left foot on, but then she was, oh, there's nothing, and put it. Yeah. I feel like that move started to look harder the more people we saw on it. Because when Vita did it, it looked kind of okay. I feel like once she would have gotten that heel in, she would have liked to fight a bit more. I think she thought about putting the heel up, actually.
Yeah, there was nothing to put her left foot on, so it wasn't a left foot slip, but she just brought it quickly underneath her.
I think for that move, you want to put the heel up, but it's really high.
Oh, I see where her hand is, yeah. I get you.
And the left hold she was going to, it's kind of like shouldery, and you just slap up there, and it's really hard not to open up, like that your body tension, not the body tension, center of gravity will go out, and your left foot will swing out, and you will lose tension. So that's really hard on that move.
And this is Romerik's slip. Watch that, Rhea. The right. It's releasing that heel in that position is such a big swing.
I feel like it was a heel slip and then a hand slip too, was it?
Well, the heel, I mean, he'd have to release the heel, but it... Yeah, the left hand pops out.
Yeah, but
dish.
It was because it was going back as well. It was mostly the heel pop.
Okay, well, we into the top 9, I think, for the men, top 10 for the women.
2 Japanese, not a team.
Yeah, Team Sen's. Team Sen train. Let's see if they can do it. Natsuki Tani for the women. Taisei Homa for the men. Natsuki Tani immediately just noticed her height as she walked out.
152, yeah. She's one of the smallest competitors.
Doesn't mean she can't do it, just might change how she does it. And Taisei Homa, he's 22, has a silver medal to his name.
And a silver medal at FISU last week.
Yeah, so he could be in form here.
Enjoyed the wall last week, so wants to do that again. Why not?
Yeah, and it might be an advantage if you climbed the week before, maybe, you didn't win, you didn't get where you wanted to do. It's nice to have a chance to do it all over again on the same wall, bit of revenge. That's our leaderboard. So we watched him go. Surprisingly, Jesse Gruppe from the USA, 45 plus, nearly at the top of the wall.
Yeah, already has a top 10 result safe. Because he's in first position and only 9 climbers to come. So.
Yeah, he's starting to book his way into that final.
Yeah, could be.
Could be.
He has a really good chance.
Yeah, he does. I mean,
to top what he has done is.
I wouldn't
it's basically a top.
Exactly. I wouldn't expect to see 9 more tops. So
yeah.
it could really be good for him. And Natsuki Tani cruises through the bottom. Oh, he cuts loose there, but it's a big hole. Taisei Homa's on there, and then he'll be able to find a rest. Natsuki Tani swinging their left leg across. Nice and control from her. She makes the clip. Taisei Homa looks down. I think he was probably looking at the clock, not too sure. Down his B-layer, make sure the B-layer has still got him. We did a little feature with the B-layer as part of the extra content we make here at the IFSC, because I always think a B-layer's job is such a terrifying thing to do on one of these semi-finals or finals even. Imagine short roping Alex Magos or someone, or your brother Jakub as he's getting through a section. It would be the end of your B-lay career, for sure.
Even at training, I feel like with people I know, I feel like sometimes belaying is stressful.
Yeah.
like short roping, but also you don't want them to crash the wall if they fall or something.
I had to belay Chris Sharma recently. It was absolutely terrifying. It's well scary.
Pressure.
Tell me about it. So Natsuki Tani goes up and matches the sloper. Interesting.
Match the block hold.
Yeah, she's on the blocker.
Using it as an intermediate.
Taisei Hama locks the heel in. Toes pointed
Hopefully
down to the
no
ground.
foot pop now.
Yeah, we've seen so many here, haven't we?
Yeah, looking solid though.
He looks out to the right.
Yeah, probably he was wondering why there are so many feet on the right, because basically you're not using it so much.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that last one is purely there for aesthetic reasons to complete the circle.
Yeah, pretty sure, yeah. And to confuse people, maybe.
Yes. So Natsuki Tani into the crimps now.
He made that kind of crux look pretty easy, though.
He is, isn't he? Missed the first quick draw, but no issues. Clipped it again with a really high right heel.
High foot on the right.
Crosses through, looking really fresh as well, is Taisei Hama.
Clipping from here. Yeah.
Now this is where Jesse had to start to fight.
That's
this
where
sequence.
he had this like frogs it.
Yeah.
Yeah, is he choosing to do it too? Because
Oh, it's a big
no.
drop knee, and as he twisted into the drop knee, he slipped. But that is second place at the moment for him.
But as I wanted to say, because he was like kind of almost going for the move already, and he tried that drop knee, but it just looked like that. I'm just calling it frogs in because I don't really know. how
that's
else to
what I call it. Yeah.
I think that looked just really nice because he was just under the hold, like straight under it. Because now with Taisei Hama, I feel like if he would have gone for the move, maybe his right foot would have come out and he had like a big swing out. And then it's really hard to hold the tension. So probably works both, but the frogs it looked like a really safe option.
Yeah. I've only seen one athlete do that because only two have got that far. So
Yeah.
men's route's hard.
Okay, what can Natsuki Tani do with this here?
We saw Molly try to or did this.
She did it, yeah, but it also took her a bit to get it in. Doesn't look like the nicest. Oh, and she gets the high heel.
There we go. Well,
That's what Alexandra Totkova tried to do, or like wanted to do. But I think for doing that, you have to really pull hard on the right one and be flexible enough to put the heel up, obviously. Ooh, that was a hard step to the right here.
Clearly got the flexibility. Now, not for a long time have we seen someone get this far. Only Vita Luken and Hannah Moyle have entered this part of the wall.
She still looks really fresh, but I think she wants to try to go statically up there. I'm not sure if that works.
Shaking her hand up, reaches up to the pinch. Does work.
She's still shaking out there.
But this is it. You go for slopers to crimps. Your forearms feel terrible. Nothing feels right. You have to remember how to do it again almost.
She had a look at the clock. Oh, she only has 50 seconds to go.
Yeah.
I think she knows, so.
Yeah.
It's the time that.
We'll keep an eye on the clock. Sorry it's not on screen.
40 seconds.
A few technical issues with that one. We will keep you updated on that. So she rests.
But she should know. I think she looked down, so she should hurry up now.
Yeah, she needs to start
should
going
move.
here. We're coming up to under 30 seconds. So there is the pinch. Next pinch. She climbs herself up to second place. No, now first place. 41 for
Nice.
Natsuki Tani.
She timed it well now with the time because she made use of that rest to do like just 2 more moves because she knew that moves are hard. And yeah, that's something to beat. That was a really strong performance from her.
Yeah, great work from her. So Natsuki Tani, that is a new leader on screen. Yeah, we just saw that belayer there with the belay glasses on, and it's a strange thing because belaying hurts your neck if you're staring upwards, but with those glasses you can look straight forwards and see up because of the prism effect, I guess, whatever that is, whatever it's called on those glasses.
Yeah.
And Natsuki Tani, what a position from her. Up she came, and that was it,
Almost
popping
got
off.
that one too. It's really close, but it was a big long shot.
I tell you what, it's a big old fall. If you were to fall off the top of that, I know it's safe totally, but it's that is quite a fall at the top of the wall.
Yeah, but they usually leave out the last quick draw in between. Like,
Yeah, they like a bit of drama.
if you
at the top.
usually climb on this wall, there is another quick draw.
And that was the drop knee that sent Taisei Homer down to the ground.
Disappointed about that. Foot slip is always bad too.
Yeah, it was as he dropped, you couldn't see on that shot, but he turned that left knee right the way down and a drop knee. Annoyed with himself, but it's pretty good. So Yoshiyuki Ogata will be out next. And that man, well, we'll wait for him to appear, but
Overall, winner of the Bouldering World Cup.
yeah,
There's no spoiler because he basically was that already.
yes, I think we can give, that's fine. He was the overall winner already.
Yeah.
I got a bit of stick for giving a spoiler away the other day, so I'm trying not to.
I know, but I think the overall victory,
Yeah, that's fine, I
that
think.
was fine.
So,
That was already pretty obvious before that comp.
exactly. I don't feel bad about that one. So Yoshiyuki Ogata, the overall bouldering world champ for 2022, comes
Otherwise,
in
you
on the
can
left.
blame it on me. I started it. That's on me now.
Thanks,
Sorry,
Hannah.
guys.
You can take the blame for that. It's fair enough.
But yeah, you could at least say he had a really fantastic bouldering season.
He really did, yeah. And he is, in good form. So we're expecting big things from this man. But has he got the power still? Is he feeling fresh? And then on the right, Eliska Adamovska, who won in Briançon. Not out of the blue, but I don't think you would have necessarily sort of counted on her to take that victory. So it was brilliant from her. And we know she's got potential to do well in these comps. So let's see what she can do here.
Also, one of the people concentrating more on lead, like mostly. I mean, I think she has done some bouldering comps, but more in the lead field, I would say. Also, Yoshiyuki climbed really well in qualifications. Didn't look tired at all from bouldering. I mean, they had a day of rest because compared to the women, they had a day off yesterday, but still.
And Eliska Adamovska is one of those athletes who is a specialist in lead, so she won't have had that intense period of climbing earlier on in the week.
Exactly, yeah. Should still be kind of fresh. But also having qualies and semis on the same day can be kind of tiring too. And it was a really hot day today, so I don't know how you feel like, but I feel like in summer on a hot day when you do sports, whatever it is, but also when you climb, it's just making you more tired than on a winter day.
No, absolutely, yeah. It really takes it out of you. And staying hydrated is always an issue, and everything starts to play a part of it.
Also, how you... What do you do in the time between qualies and semis makes a difference.
Yeah.
Like, you should really rest and...
I saw Natalia Grossman lying on the wall by the river, just taking a moment to herself as I came into the stadium, just literally just lying there, facing the river, just sort of composing herself before she went into isolation.
Maybe also celebrating her overall victory.
Exactly. What season Natalia Grossman had.
Yeah.
She'll be out later. But right now, Eliska Adamovska comes into the blocked crimps.
Oh, Yoshiyuki's like trying to decide toe or heel,
Oh, yeah.
toe or heel. He switched around like 3 times, but decided to do it with the toe, and it looks good.
Yeah, it looks really comfortable. Then he just cuts loose. He's so good at those moves when
Yeah.
he swings like that.
Doesn't look like a problem at all.
No, not at all. Eliska gets that tricky move to the dish done and the cross through, so she's past that first hard move.
I think she will like the next section too.
Yoshiyuki Ogata is nearing the 12 o'clock position on that circular clock-like feature we can see.
Oh, also choosing to do a heel. A lot of people did that.
Yeah,
Maybe
we know
it
this.
feels more comfortable than a toe. It makes me
Oh,
a bit,
but the slip. I was about to say
yeah, it
we've
makes me
seen
a bit
slips here.
nervous. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Oh, and he tried to use, he used that photo on the right, but now tries to do differently.
Jumps up. Oh, how is he still on? He's cutting loose all over the shot.
That's because he's good at that move, like you said just before, because I feel like when he started to do the move, it looked the same as people who fell there, but it's Yoshiyuki.
Yeah. But he might be in some trouble here. He's going to come up, and he is. Takes the fall down.
Try to go on the right side of that volume where there is nothing. It's really hard to hold that without the fall there.
But it is 5th position. You won't know yet where he's at, but that could be good enough. Let's see. And Adamovska climbs up into the top 8 for her.
Oh.
Oh, just.
Didn't look too comfortable.
Makes the clip, having recovered. It was that right hand that looked in danger for a second. Breathing heavily, she tries to rest. Had a little moment, she shut her eyes. Crosses underneath, high feet. Oh, and a slip. Oh, she saved it.
Oh, wow. That was a shock, though.
That was a shock. Can she recover from that moment?
Oh, no, she cannot. Oh.
Down she
What
comes.
a shame. So many foot slips in that semi-final, is it?
Yeah, I'd love to talk to the... I mean, they're miles away from us, but I'd love to find out if the wall's slippy, if it's just the style of the route.
Just the footholds, maybe.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, and I mean, there are always a few foot slips, but we've seen so many. And also with people who stayed on, but also people fell because of it. Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And this was the
that's-
foot slip. How she saved it. She didn't really have it on. She was a bit above it, then slipped down into it.
Yeah,
Wasn't the
just
best
when
placement.
she wanted to weight it.
Yeah. She wasn't looking at
Just when
it.
she was about to put weight on it.
And then couldn't get it back after that.
Ooh, and then the slap out. It also looks like she didn't really, afterwards, she didn't really want to rock over it, and maybe was a bit scared to put weight on it again because of the slip. She didn't get to the left enough.
Yeah, just didn't place it quite properly. Yoshiyuki, plaster hanging off, I think, on his elbow there. Team Japan, oh yeah. As a coach, I can't imagine that moment watching your athlete climb. You know, you can't do anything about it. You just have to sit back, let him go.
Just nervous.
Oh. There's Yoshiyuki as he came down.
Shaking his head.
Yeah, but it was good. I mean, he's up there at the moment. We'll see. So, Sean Bailey enters the arena and Manon Healy for the women. Nice to see Manon Healy back and climbing.
Climbing with glasses. I was always... we had a competitor on our team for Wild Bernhard Röck. I don't know if you know his name. He was also always climbing with glasses. And I was always wondering if it's like... Yeah, I don't know, makes a difference, but that obviously makes a difference for your eyes. But if it's just a bit weird, because sometimes you're really close with your hands on your face, and I would be scared to like hit it off, or being really close to the wall with your face and stuff, and just I would always have the feeling it will fall off.
Yeah, I was about to say, looking down at the clock or something, that's not what you want, to suddenly lose some vision.
It has to be really tight and be really,
Yeah.
Because, I would just imagine, like, I would be really scared to lose it. And then don't see anything else.
Yeah, that would be a bit similar to Janja forgetting a chalk bag. It suddenly really hamstrings you.
But actually, Jakob tried to climb with glasses at a few trainings too now, just to see if it's a difference, because he's not seeing so well.
Did it make a difference?
I didn't ask him afterwards. But I think it's hard to tell if you're just trying it for a bit, then I don't know the difference. But yeah, should ask him again. Actually.
Yeah, please find out next time you come. You can
I
tell
think
us.
he's not climbing with glasses now, so maybe the difference was not too big.
Yeah. So Sean Bailey on the left, Manon Healy on the right. Sean getting it.
Okay, and she put her glasses off now. That's the question.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
All that chat for nothing. Sorry, Manon.
All that chat for nothing. So, but that's probably a reason, because it's not so comfortable to climb with it.
Yeah. So Sean Bailey is through that move. We lost a couple of athletes on. Reaches up and clips with the heel in. That first of the resting positions for the men. Manon with a right toe hook to get into that move.
I think that was just to be safe. Like, we really want to climb the first few quick draws as safe as possible.
So Sean Bailey reaching up with the left hand. makes the clips. Good for him. Sean Bailey is one of those athletes who occasionally is a bit inconsistent, but he has won World Cup, so he can do it.
And he knows he can do it.
Yeah, he climbed the 9C that became a 9B plus in the summer. Manon Healy comes out with the left, where she'll swing her feet up to in a minute. Sean Bailey into the dish nicely as he enters the first really big move for the men. Up with the right hand, he's got to work out how to release those feet. Smears on the volume. And I think that's a good way of doing it. Pushing out. And then a heel resting there.
Yeah, we've seen some other people do that as well.
Yeah, he made it look really good and controlled. Turns it into a toe.
Put moves on straight away, not a long rest there.
Things start to build through here. As you said, it's steep through this section.
Looked really comfortable, Sean. Come on, more. Yeah, it's just a sketchy section, I would say.
So Sean Bailey hasn't had the foot slip that has caught so many athletes out.
Ooh. Ooh.
But he is struggling for a foot. Ooh, has to cut loose again.
It work, yeah. That switch around with the feet cost a lot. Going right, oh no, back to left.
Into the crimps, and he'll now chalk up before he gets into the really physical part of this men's route.
That's where Jesse really made use of that rest, like with a right heel and those two crimps, but Sean is not choosing to do it.
Sean jumps his feet across, and that frog squat move is coming up soon if he chooses it.
Ooh,
oh!
No, and there is the foot slip on the right.
So many, he's up into 5th. Manon Healy, slow and steady, she works her way upwards. 2 minutes 30 on the clock. Crosses through, she's looking very solid through these moves. Gets that knee bar again, slightly lower than some women. Really using that knee bar, working it for the clip.
Yeah, if it's there, why not making use of it?
Yeah, it just makes that clip so much easier, doesn't it? If you got it locked, well, might make it. I mean,
there's just some people who love knee bars, and then there's just some that rather not do it, like me, for example.
I hate a knee bar.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know
I
why.
never feel comfortable in
No,
a
I
knee
don't
bar.
either, no.
And there are just people that just always, when there's a knee bar, make really good use of it. And I'm like, even if I get there, I will not recover like as you do, because I'm just not good at knee bars.
Yeah. Swinging out. And then that left hook, that was the foot that Adamovska popped off.
Nice.
No problems for her, for
Made
Manon Healy.
good use of the knee bar rest.
Yeah, she's
Doing
looking
really well.
strong here.
Come on. Ooh, and oh.
Oh, slips down a little, but recovers.
Yeah, she did the high heel, but couldn't really get it on top. And then her right foot slipped, so she was a bit low. Couldn't really, like, I think Vita and Hannah both, once they had a heel up, it looked pretty chill, like not really chill, but they
could rest in it.
Yeah, they could rest in it, and really could have put a lot of weight off there. Really were sitting on the left, and then
that was the glasses we were talking about. Lost them when she went.
Yeah, I think she didn't have the heel high enough to really be able to sit on it and release tension from, release weight of her hands and could rest. But it's still a really good performance. Yeah, her heel was really low.
Yeah, when you saw the rubber come away.
Yeah, but it was because she put it on already before. It was hard to put it so high. So maybe it would have been good to readjust, but I guess she was also just pumped, which is understandable at that point of the route.
And this is where we lost Sean. Watch that right foot. There's the slip. He was very stretched out on
Yeah, I
that
just wanted
move.
to say, that move is really far. I already thought about that when the others people did it. Also when Sasha did it, that's why his foot popped as well, I think, because he was so stretched out and it was so hard to switch feet.
Yeah, at the edge of his reach, and when you're standing your tiptoes like that, that's when foot slips can happen. So Sean Bailey comes down, but he's at the moment in the finals, but things are changing rapidly as we come to the last few athletes in our semi-final.
Yeah, not so many people left.
No, this is it. If you're just joining us, you've missed a lot of action. My name's Matt Green. We're here with Hannah Schubert in the commentary box. A regular this week here in Austria at your home World Cup, and it has been lovely having all your insights, so thank you.
Thank you.
And Mia Krampel is out, another athlete who could make finals, an Olympian. And coming next to her, out, Yurikusa from Japan.
Also competed in FISO last week.
Yeah. So many Japanese. We always say it, but it is worth saying it. This Japanese team has got such depth. Very, very strong. So they're underway. Nice smile to the B-layer there. As he starts upwards on the jugs.
I was quickly checking if the if the belay is ready to.
Yeah.
I'm also doing that. Actually, a funny story I once had that I think it was semi-final in Villar. I was just like looking at the rook and then wanting to start climbing, and just looked back to the belay and was like, okay. He was like, yes. And I was like, oh no. And then he had to switch up his belaying device again because he like put it in wrong.
Oh no.
And I was just standing there waiting.
That's not what you want, is it?
Yeah, but I'm glad he realized.
Yeah.
No criticism to any belayers.
Oh
out
no,
there.
of course.
It's
It's a tricky job.
yeah,
isn't
it's just a funny story because I was so ready to climb. I was just checking. Like some people don't even check and just go.
Yeah.
But yeah, good that he put it in.
Yeah, those last minute checks,
Like,
very important,
yeah.
especially when you're climbing for yourself as well. Do check.
Yeah,
You're not
like a partner
the B-layer.
check. Yeah, and that's also why it's like normal for me to do it in a comp, like just checking like everything okay, because you do it in training too.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the problem. I will also discuss it with other people, because you get so lazy with doing partner checks in training because you climb so much, but it doesn't get less important.
No. It's a very good habit to get into. So Mia Krampel on the right, easy through the first part and out as well. Good job from him. That right foot, is there friction on that right foot? There is, I think.
Yeah, there is. But on this one isn't, on the left.
Yeah, on the
one.
left, there we go. You
Yeah.
can see the light shining off it. Yeah, after a lot of discussion, I think I've settled on calling that no tex on
No
the dual
tex?
tex. I quite
Okay.
like it. It seems
No
easy.
tex.
Yeah, no
Okay.
tex. I'm going to go with it till someone tells me not to. Look at that sunset in the background. What a shot. Zhao cuts loose high up on our Innsbruck wall. Evening setting in now. Fresher, cooler conditions for the athletes as we near the end of our semi-final. That's the leaderboard on the right.
Oh,
Oh, early fall. Was that the move again, the dish?
yeah, we lost Mia there.
Mia Krampel coming down. We'll watch a replay in a sec, and we'll stick with Al at the moment as he comes through. Watch the feet again.
I'm so nervous with that heel now,
Yeah, me too.
all the time.
Goes for the tick mark.
Easy.
No problems.
But also at FISO last week, I felt like up until he fell, it looked just so easy. And I think he made a reading mistake or something, and that's why he fell off. But just looked like a walk in the park. When
It does, doesn't it? It's no real sort of emotion. That's the wrong word for it, but he's just
yeah,
focused.
it was the
I don't
same
know.
in qualification, I feel like.
Yeah.
Just
Up he comes.
cruising up.
And that was the move we lost Sean Bailey on, and yeah, he's
Ooh.
thinking of it. He's going to upgrade the right foot, I think, to the higher crimp. It's going to be a further move, but that does look better.
Yeah, I think the move up is harder, but then you're already in a better position. You don't have to do that weird foot swap.
Yeah.
So I think it was smart.
He climbs himself into the top 3 now.
Still not looking pumped. Oh, and going for the frog. That looks good.
There's the frog squat.
Ooh,
Hannah's
nice.
favourite move.
Yeah, it looks really comfortable.
Now, that right foot is on, I think, on a slippery part.
I
so-
don't think he looks pumped yet, do you?
No, he really doesn't. What is going on? No, it was on a dish, his right foot, sorry. Crosses through. This is just,
He's cruising.
he's
up
cruising the warm-up, it looks like. And then the final fall. That's where we lost Jessie as well.
there. He tried to do a double slap.
So one below Jesse Grouper. And Jesse Grouper, he's pretty sure he's going to be in this final. It's very impressive from him.
I'm a bit surprised that he didn't get the plus there.
Yeah, it might be an appeal. We'll see. Athletes using chalk, of course, on the route. Trying to stop the sweat. That was the move into the side pull. Down low.
Okay, now he's in first position.
Okay, so he's been bumped up. He has been given that plus.
Together with Jesse.
Okay.
They're tied because there's no countback. Yeah, obviously he has that plus. Like,
Yeah.
I was surprised that he didn't get it.
Sometimes it takes a while. The judge is going to have to press a button. Sometimes there's a bit of a delay.
Yeah. But that looked really strong up until there. Didn't look like too much of a problem.
No.
But I think this move is just really hard.
Yeah, it's a stopper at the top.
Because I think Jesse tried to just go with the left, but he also missed the hold. But maybe you also have to go, maybe you actually have to go left, right.
Yeah, interesting. We'll see if anyone can top this route. Semi-final routes are hard. I think people think it always builds to the final, but often the semi-final route's as hard as a final route. You got to, and that was Mia's slip, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if she missed that.
It's into the dish. Yeah, that didn't show too much.
No. So frustrating.
So next up is a lady who I also think we can give away. She's also won the overall Boulder. There's Natalia Grossman. And a lot of people have been talking about her versus Janja Garnbret because the two of them are equally dominant, especially this year. Natalia has had it all to herself in Boulder, and wow, has she had a fantastic season. So now she has to flip her thinking and turn it into a lead comp, but that is hard.
But as you just saw in the statistic there, she has had some medals in lead, but no gold.
There you go. So can she get her first gold? This will such a fascinating battle. See if she can be challenging Janja, but there are other lead athletes, Xian So, Laura Rogora, Jessie Pilz. So there's a lot of lead climbers to come. And that is Luka Potica from Slovenia. So interesting with Natalia. She's just, I mean, we said this during the Boulder, but remember last year where, I think it was you actually, we were talking about this, where she, you know, she got to her first final last year with Brooke Rabatou, and since then it's like she became someone we didn't expect to see, to someone who regularly makes finals. She's progressed so much in a year.
Yeah, she's like someone you count on like almost to 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
Because she doesn't disappoint.
No.
She didn't.
So consistent,
far.
yeah.
So, yeah.
But we've seen early slips on the women's route, so don't expect anything. Presume. Oh, look at that sunset. So Luka coming up into the purple volumes. This is where he has to turn on beast mode. He has a little slip moment there. Gets the heel in. He'll be able to recover and rest on this move. This is the moves where he has to bump both hands up. You can see about 3 bumps we usually get. Oh, no, different method from him, crossing across.
I think slowly we have to count the people who don't slip instead of the people who do slip.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I feel like even if it's just like a little pop or if they stay on and it doesn't make a big difference, but there's so many people who slip now.
Yeah, it's contributed to most of the falls I think we've seen tonight.
Yeah. And then there were people who slipped but didn't fall. But
Yeah.
still it made a difference.
And Natalia, a bit awkward on that clip. And it is a bit awkward.
Yeah, that section with the purples, it's just a bit uncomfortable, I think.
Yeah. Oh, stretching way out. The left foot's on nothing for Natalia.
But getting the dish easily, Natalia.
Yeah. Look at that shot from our crane cam. Wonderful. Keeps up with our athletes. He rests. Looking very relaxed.
Yeah, Luka's shaking out.
Yeah.
The section that's coming is hard, so it's good that he shakes out a little bit now.
Yeah, looking steady on his feet. And Natalia easily into the crimps as well. So Luka now into the pinch part of that circle. There's a big move coming up for him. Swaps the feet, sights it, gets it.
That looked pretty solid.
Yeah, brilliant stuff from him. And Natalia as well. I don't know where to look at the moment, but both athletes are just rock solid as they come through. Heel to where his hand was. Natalia coming out to the crimps. Swaps feet, flagging out to the left. And now we need the spotlight as dusk starts to descend on the stadium.
And they're both pretty quick. Like they're on the same, almost on the same height. So Natalia is quick compared to the other female competitors.
Natalia made that heel look so easy.
Yeah. And Luca, is he? Oh, is he just? No, he's not deciding for the frog.
He's just going to jump, isn't he? And he does get it, but now he's got a hard foot
That's exactly what
sequence.
I said. I think that's a lot harder.
Yeah, and it is.
Yeah.
Look.
But it's still going to be enough for finals for him. So.
Yeah, job done.
Because now we can actually say that already, because there are not so many people coming anymore.
Yeah. Natalia in 4th as well already, and looking good here as she comes into the pinches. How has she got the power for this after her week of climbing? Shaking out, resting in a good position.
Yeah, that right heel is really nice. Natsuki Tani shook out there too. I think Vita was just too pumped to get that hill up and like missed that one a little bit.
Yeah, Natalia is looking incredibly relaxed.
And she still has almost 2 minutes to go, so.
Natalia just has this little bit of attitude at the moment. I love to see on the wall. It's like she just gives herself a little confidence boost when she's up there. So here we go. Let's see if she can grind her way through the top part of this wall. Moves up to 2nd position with that. High left foot.
That's a move where we lost Natsuki Tani.
Yeah.
She makes it work easily. That high foot
is into 1st position. Are we about to see our first top of the evening?
Oh yeah, it's a press. Is it a press? And a press jump. And oh.
Well, it's not going to be a top, but that was impressive from Natalia Grossman. Jumps up to the 1st position with 43.
And we're going to see her tomorrow in finals for sure.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
2 out of 2 for Natalia Grossman.
Yeah.
In terms of finals.
But yeah, the last move looks like they set it for Janja. But it's a classic top move, I would say, like a press jump kind of.
Yeah, awkward, a bit uncomfortable. Once you've committed to it,
you still have to be fresh enough to get really high.
So she gave herself a little confidence boost. You could see it, and then look at that move. That is outrageous.
Just to shake out and chalk up again once more.
Oh, how do you get comfortable enough to do moves like that at the top of a 15-meter overhanging lead wall? It's incredible.
Yeah, and the first step is to climb that far too.
Yes, exactly.
You don't have to forget that.
And most of us would be on the ground a long time ago. She had a minute 20 when she fell left on the clock, as you can see, so she had plenty of time as well. As Hannah said, climbing fast.
Yeah, she climbed really fast. Because like not a lot of the female competitors could keep up with the men on the same side, like with the male competitor at the same time.
Yeah.
But she could. And it was not because Luca was slow, it's just because she was fast.
Yeah, she was way off that move, but it was more than enough.
And yeah, as I said before, like Luca made that move work without the frog seat or whatever it is, but then he was a bit stuck in that position. It was really hard to move from it.
Yeah, it's a very awkward foot swap move, and it didn't work. I hope that was him. No, I think that's was coming on. I was about to say that would be a cool way to leave the stage. Blow it on hands.
Chalk up again just for the show.
He rested in great positions. Really cool, calm and collected up there. 4 men to go, 5 women.
That's actually the move, yeah, and he also had a foot slip there at the end too. But it was still a really good performance from him.
So we wait for our next athletes out as we see the final replay of Luca coming down.
You don't hear it, but I feel like the speaker in the arena loves to say one of the names of one of the competitors coming out now.
Yeah, so next up, Colin Duffy is up, and Brooke Rabatou as well.
Teammates again.
Yeah, 2 USA teammates. Let's see what they can do.
Both climbers I really enjoy to watch. I feel like they have such a nice style of climbing.
I agree, and there's something about Colin Duffy at the moment that is worth keeping an eye on. And Brooke Rabatou was disappointed not to make finals, so she will be looking for some revenge out here on the lead wall.
Yeah. That 7th place always hurts,
yeah.
I guess.
So close, so far.
So I don't want the 9th one in the lead then.
Yeah. So Brooke getting herself ready for this. She was 3rd in the overall boulder placement.
As I mentioned already in the live stream of the semi-final bouldering, she skipped bricks in the World Cup to take a bit of time to train at home before coming to Europe, before coming to the whole to do the whole lead season.
Yeah.
Just a moment to breathe and to train lead. So
Yeah, this
back to full strength now.
packed year this year. Now Corona sort of is at least a bit behind us. We're getting more and more on the schedule, and the athletes, they have to sometimes pick and choose.
It's getting more again, from like one comp in a season to again 12 of
Yes.
them.
Something I'm very much enjoying. So Brooke Rabatou presses upwards, easy for her, and Colin Duffy just cuts loose. We've seen a few athletes do that, and this is where they can recover, and he does so, leaning backwards. Brooke making sure her feet are well placed. You can see just twisting them in.
I think Brooke is one of the competitors who has a really, really good footwork. I think you could see that in the bouldering as well. Always really precise and really controlled.
I mean, she's been climbing for so long. It's just part of her body, it's like walking for her. It's so simple.
For sure, but it's still a skill.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's worth, if you're a new climber, look at Brooke Rabatou's footwork, 'cause you'll learn something from that.
And a good technique can help you a lot.
Absolutely. So Colin begins the first tricky sequence.
He's deciding to put a toe right away.
Up he comes, a big stretch to the crimp. Double toes on the right.
And the jump out.
That method looking really good now.
Easily. Yeah, I think it's a lot easier to do it from the toe than from the heel. You have just less swing and you're taller, or like longer. So it's a less big way to go to the left.
But this is potentially the first full move from, no it's not, Brooke Rabatou cruising through. So amazing, isn't it, the difference
What did
between
you say?
some athletes.
Did you say it was hard?
Yeah, apparently that's a crux, but I mean, who knows?
Oh, okay. Did you say that move was hard too?
Yeah,
Oh,
allegedly.
Okay.
And look, he's using, finally we see people using the right, but it's only briefly, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just because he's like, he doesn't really weight it because he's so strong on the hold, so he doesn't really need it, I guess.
There is I tell you, something about Colin Duffy. So, but let's see. Let's not count our chickens yet. Brooke Rabatou, the heels, and she's so good at those kind of heels.
Actually, I met Colin yesterday when there was this brutal final with just tons of rain, which I think a lot of people left earlier, especially people competing today. But just when I wanted to leave with my bike, he was next to me on the bike, and there was like a traffic jam of bikes because there's so many people leaving. And I was just quickly talking to him and was like, oh, you were also here until the end. Perfect preparation for lead, huh? He's like, yeah, I'm not feeling ready for lead or something. But
no.
He seems ready for lead.
Yeah, I think he's all right, because look, he's up into 6th now, 38 for him. He'll want to get a couple of moves higher, though, just to guarantee that. And Brooke nearly had a moment.
Oh, looking solid. Oh, is he going to go? Yes, nice.
Yeah, so Colin up to 4th now, catches that. He's very stretched out here, but brings his foot up. His right foot is on a dish. It's not dual tex or no tex on that part.
Nice one from Brooke, too. I was surprised she didn't put the heel in already earlier, but she looked comfortable enough to do it like this.
Colin down on 43. He may not have been ready, but he's in the finals for that man.
Yeah, it will be enough.
Brooke Rabatou gets a high heel and thinks better of it, looking a little bit pumped. She works out these sequences. She's in 7th, which is not that safe yet. She needs to get higher.
Ooh, but makes that work. Good job.
Now she's up into 5th now. Better for her.
Nicely done. That looked really solid.
Quick shake out from her, and we know there's a bit of a rest. Natalia found it, and it looks like Brooke is going to find it too. Gets the quick draw in. Yeah, she does just take a second to shake.
Looking really solid and composed. Not too much of a fight.
122, so Natalia was a little bit faster. Not much really time matters, but it just shows the difference.
It's definitely enough time to top out if she can do it.
1:08 on the clock, so a minute, and she'll use this time to rest. It's just a quick sequence, so she's got plenty of time. She knows how to time this. Left foot onto the crimp, stretches up.
Long lock off to the left. Oh, she's going to put a heel.
Oh, that's the heels. I mean, she's so good at it. And then she looks that high foot.
Ooh, and is she trying to go with the left up
Oh,
there?
hello.
Oh,
it's maybe not a press, but she's got to get that right foot in now, which she does, and she's going to top this, you know. Oh, hang on the strobe. Let her clip it first.
There's the top.
There it is.
Oh, and actually her shoe opened up.
Oh, wow, it's coming undone.
And now she can actually put it up anyway.
Well,
nicely done. Okay, you can do that statically.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking about it when Natalia put her left foot on, but then because she didn't commit to trying it, I was like, okay, probably it's not possible. But it actually, because like Natalia tried, it looks like it's really hard to get the height to jump. She made that look really solid.
She did.
What
great
a performance.
Work.
Nice,
Wow.
Brooke. Nice.
Well, we said she wanted revenge. I think she's had it.
Yeah.
Into the final, solidly into the final.
Solidly, yeah. I mean, I expected her to get into finals, but with a top, even better.
Yeah. That's the first top of the whole semi-final, in fact.
Yeah.
And
With
then
still
women.
4 women to go.
Right, so Yannick Floet, Alexander Megos, and Jakob Schubert for the men. Xian So, Laura Rogera, Jessica Pilz, and Yannick Garnbrett for the women. That's who's to come. Chalking up high on the route, making sure she doesn't slip there. And that was the rest that she and Natalia found up there. That
Yeah,
you said
and
Vita was
Natsuki
too
Tani
pumped.
too.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, but she didn't have so much time anymore.
Blowing the excess. She was so relaxed in that resting position, not really pumped at all. And she found a static sequence through.
And I also thought bringing the right foot in will be hard, as you said, but she just made that work really easily. And she closed her shoe, even though now she's going to take it off again. That was great.
Where did it? I didn't see where it started to come off. Was it down then that move? I think it might have been flapping there.
I think it was not open for a long time.
It's like automatic. She just doesn't want to lose that shoe, does she? Oh, that was still an effort, though. And look, the shoe was undone when she made that move. Not what you want when you're on the final hold with a big run out to the top of a World Cup route. Strapped it back on, though. No problem. Down she comes. All right, Yannick Floet is up next. As we see more shots of Brooks celebrating that top. First one of the semi-finals. Great from her. Awesome to see. And that was Colin Duffy, who pinged off the top finally, but that could be enough. Should be enough, I think. I can't actually remember where he was. I got so excited by Brooke.
I think he should be third with that, isn't he?
Yeah, so that should be good enough for him.
Ooh, that looked painful, though.
Yeah, didn't it? Okay, we're nearing the end. I think we're going to go a little later than scheduled. Xian So comes out. South Korea. And now, look, she's had a really good boulder season, but lead is where her heart is, I think. This is where she specialised.
She's world champion, I mean.
Exactly.
You don't get that for nothing.
Exactly. She's done well for bouldering. And there's Yannick Floet just kicking the wall, making sure it's not going to fall over. And
He had a
ready
really
to
good
go.
qualification round. Seems like his endurance is not too far off. Even though I'm pretty sure he was focusing more on boulder training recently.
Yeah, well, 1 gold in Brixton. He's in boulder shape for sure.
But as I said, like in qualification, the routes were a bit shorter. Maybe that also was nice for him. Not saying that he will not do great in this one. Like,
No, for sure. Might
I
suit
just
a
saw.
boulderer.
I just like remember that I saw an Instagram story where Camila Moroni was like, "Thanks for the short routes." So maybe some of the boulderers thought like, "Oh yeah, good that there are 2 groups. Good that they have to put 8 routes on the wall, so they made it shorter." But semis is definitely not short.
Absolutely not. Well, Yannick powers his way up through the bottom section. No problem for him, Xian So as well. And we've seen double toes in this section. We see single toes, bump moves. We've had it all. And Yannick Floet now comes up with the left hand. Stands on the no-tex, left toe in.
Going for the heel? Oh, no, going for the toe. Switched it around.
So we know that toe is probably the best way to do this, rather than the heel. Oh, he just, there we go. That is a display of his strength right there.
Yeah. That was not a hard move for him.
No. Why worry about fancy footwork when you can do that? Gets the toe drilled in, crosses through.
Climbing really quickly too.
Yeah, she's down towards, she's climbing a little slower. As you said, the world champion pacing.
Yeah. I think that's just his style of climbing, so it's a good balance.
So it's another bouldery move. Look at that split position for Yannick.
Oh yeah. Made use of that right foot. But that looked easy too. And he doesn't look pumped yet.
Not at all. Where did that endurance come from? I think these climbers sometimes underestimate it, you know. They're like, oh, I'm not in shape. Of course they're in shape, some of them.
Yeah, but yeah, I know some people who are saying like, oh yeah, I don't have endurance, and their endurance is still good enough than 99% of the rest of the world, you know.
Exactly. And look how things have changed that leaderboard. For a while, that was by far the highest point anyone was getting to, and now it's only enough for really the top 8 for Yannick Flowit.
Getting closer to finals.
Yeah, he's getting in there. Chen-So locks in that quick draw.
Ooh, does it without the frog position, but now switching to it. Oh, that switch looks so hard. That's what I wanted to say, like putting the foot on the left side of it. But I think there will be enough.
Should be. 2 to go. Chen-So gets the left foot better. And now look for the high left heel. Will she top out this route? We know it's toppable. She's looking very good at the moment, isn't she? But that high heel.
Looking for the high heel.
Yeah. Rests. Drops the right foot underneath the flag and then shakes out once more with the left as she sits right on that heel.
She doesn't have so many moves to go to be in a final position.
Now you've got to get to the head wall.
Okay, it took quite a while until she was at that good spot of that hole.
The difference, if we'd watched some of the other athletes do that, that would have been it for them, that little mistake,
Yeah,
but she can save it.
But it is because she's like still in such a good position and still not too pumped, so.
Plenty of time as well, 2 minutes on the clock. She will rest here. There is another rest coming up. We know that. She doesn't, of course. You might have seen it, but maybe doesn't know how good it is.
Oh, going dynamically, like Vita did, but Brooke and Natalia chose a more static method with like a lock-off.
Crosses through.
She still has 1:40 on the clock, so plenty of time. Oh, and she's not using the rest, actually.
No, she's not.
Not really.
Went straight through it.
And, slipping up. That was kind of close.
Wow,
and she's also chewing this
She's
method,
smiling. I think she knows she's got this. And she does. Look at that. Second top of the evening.
Nice.
She knew she had that move as she went up to it. There was a smile on her face. Awesome from Chen. So she's down. Fantastic work. She'll be in tomorrow's fight.
Yeah.
And look how overhanging that wall is. That shows it. She's off the stage when she's lowered. Has to get pulled in. That's awesome work from her.
That was great, yeah.
She doesn't look tired at all.
No, I think there were a couple of hard moves at the last slab. It didn't look like a walk in the park, but it didn't look like the biggest fight of her life, you know?
No, it doesn't. What's that? Is that double? Is she dropping the chalk? I think she took a chalk bag on, chalked up, and then dropped it. Quite short. Awesome from her. This was the smile look there.
I think it was more of a fight face.
Maybe
to be
it was.
honest.
Maybe I read too much into that, but I'd like to think somewhere she knew it. Boom.
I think that was when she knew it. Nice job. Nicely done.
Fingertips on first, changed it into a palm, upgraded the right foot. The move where Brooke's shoe was coming off.
So 2 men to go and 3 women.
I'm glad the lighting technician waited until she clipped that before turning on the strobe that time. So, 2 tops now, and Yannick Flowit, who thinks in final, so good work from him. That was when he was entering the stage. of our uber tights. Those handholds. Nice moves from him. That was where the first rest was, low down on the route. In the stretched out position, we've seen some frog squat there. That's where he has to go to. Look how bad that crimp is, horrible. And you can see, you can't see the bottom of the wall from way up there. Again, just demonstrating how overhanging this structure is. So we're just pausing here. The athletes, we can see them, are waiting in the tunnel. Here we go, Laura Rogera begins her lead season, certainly more at home here than on a boulder wall. And Alex Megos letting her go first as she enters the arena. And Alex as well, he does enjoy a good boulder comp, but really its lead is where he specializes, especially indoors. Outdoors, has Alex climbed 8C plus, 8C? He's definitely climbed 8C. I think he's climbed 8C plus as well, boulder. So here we go. I don't know if he was smiling there for the music choice, but he had a big grin on his face.
Do you think?
I think it might have been. Maybe it was his favourite tune, who knows? I don't know what Alex Megos listens to.
I think that song has been played a lot like this week.
Probably, yeah. It's the hype tune, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the hype tune.
So Laura, her lead season underway, as is Alex Megos. Got a knee in straight away there.
Yeah, he really likes the knee bars. If there's one, he will for sure find it.
Yeah. Laura, speedy through the first part. Kicks the left leg out. Alex easily through that move. Remember when that was a worrying crux for us, Hannah?
Yeah, two competitors made us really worried about it.
Yeah. Laura crossing, that looks a bit awkward. Gets set now. That's the leaderboard. That's where Alex is aiming for.
That's what you need to get into finals right now.
Alex up into the first of the really tricky moves.
That's the leaderboard for the women. Yeah.
Laura cutting loose above the stage. Alex in a great resting position. Although that left foot is on a slippery surface, it's not too much of a problem in that position. And now the cut loose move, sets himself up for it. Oh, drops down again to rest.
Is that the first time that the female competitor is quicker than the male competitor?
Yes, possibly, yeah. Alex is slow and steady, making sure of it. But look at that cut loose. It was barely a cut loose from Alex. A little swing.
Making her work his way.
Yeah, caught as he works upwards.
Is it just me or he doesn't look 100% comfortable, does he?
I don't know. It's almost like he's...
It's hard to tell, I know, but...
Yeah, it's either he's just being careful and precise.
Maybe it's just that, yeah.
We'll find out in a couple
of
seconds.
But I've seen him climbing more relaxed, I would say. That's what I wanted to say.
No, I think you're right. There's something there. But, I mean, first, as you said, a bit nervous for this.
I mean, I know he stopped climbing super well, so...
Yeah.
Not saying anything
That's
about
crazy.
That,
outside of the top 8 still. And, it's, you know, I said before, but this was the high point. Laura as well.
Yeah, but I already was pretty sure that 33 plus will not be enough. Because, there's so many strong competitors. Same for the women.
Alex starting to fight for sure on the left.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, we do lose him. So I think you were right, you know. He just didn't quite maybe feel the flow on it as much.
But it was same move as Was it before? Satoru Yoshida, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think he's still in final position so far, I think.
Yeah, we'll have a look in a sec. Yeah.
Yeah. But, oh, and it's only Jakob to go. So it actually should be enough.
Laura.
Even if Jakob climbs past. But then we have one, and we have 9 person in finals. But yeah, I know, I'm already talking about things not happening yet. But
Let's look at Laura here as she gets the heel in.
has to swing up. Ooh. Using the flexibility there.
Laura climbs herself into a finals position.
It was a long step to the right here. No, she still needs the plus. There's still 2 to go.
True, sorry, yeah. Yeah, I forget that. Just one more woman. So here she goes, having to battle as she squeezes upwards.
But now she's in the final.
There she goes, so she should be safe now.
Maybe
Oh.
she finds the rest with the heel, does she? Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
She will want to top this out, though. I've seen her looking fairly upset during boulder comps to not make it through. She's hard on herself, so it's good to see her now in that finals
She has a minute
place.
left, by the way. Sorry to interrupt.
It's fine, don't worry. You can interrupt all you want. Up she comes, a bit of a pop. Really stretched out. Now, how will she do this?
She's gonna go for the static method as well. But it's really far, that move. Trying to press on that right hold. I think it's a slippery part where her palm is now.
One palm on it, though.
But
Right
she
foot.
makes it work.
We are going to see another top. Laura Rogerer finishes things off in style.
Another
and that,
top.
as I said, she's been hard on herself, but I think all that emotion gets released now. She gets to climb in a final,
She
finally.
kept it together until the last move, until the clip. And then she was like, okay, now I can release all the tension. Now I can be emotional.
Well, darkness is here in the stadium, and Laura Rogerer makes finals. Worked hard for that one. Well done, Laura. So she is through tomorrow. Awesome.
Good job. Good job.
Let's see some replays of that, shall we? This was her reading the route again. It was a long time since she saw it.
That's true, yeah. For her, it's been a long time.
Coming up 20-10 here. Long semi-finals.
They didn't expect the people to climb so long, I think.
No, it was 9:30 it was scheduled for, so we are going...
But yeah, we didn't have like so many really early falls also in the on the women's side. We didn't, so.
This was the final move. It was a long way for her. Had the heel locked
She
in.
really had to press on the right hand there.
Look at that run out. It scares me every time I see that. I know it's not a feature for them. It's a feature for me, though. And look at that tryhard face, giving it everything on the final move. Oh, that's what it took. Inching her way, centimetre by centimetre. Finally got the palm on, stretching, topping out, and making the clip. Great work, snatching the top hold. Brilliant from her. And then that release of emotion from Laura Rogerer. Brilliant. Let's see that one more time. Yeah.
That was emotional.
It was emotional. Celebrate for a while. Now, Hannah, I don't want to make you more nervous than you already are, but not only have you got your brother climbing.
I just wanted to say, they were like, okay, how can we make Hannah even more nervous?
But Jessie Piltz is also climbing, so you've got
let's
two teammates.
Let's just make Jessie and Jakob climb at the same time, because that's more fun. So don't be surprised if you don't hear a lot from me for the next 6 minutes, until I've seen 2 tops, maybe?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, Alex Megos, that was his slip. He's in finals. Great work from him. He had to grind his way up. Looked a little uncomfortable, but fought through. Couldn't quite find the flow. He's a bit worried, is that coach? Right, here we go. Hannah, prepare to sweat, because Jakob Schubert and Jessie Piltz enter the stage. Remember when they won the World Champs a couple of years ago together?
Both of them.
It was.
So please just do the same again, even if it's just semis.
I wish you could see Hannah right now, because she's literally twitching next to me. She can't keep still.
Sorry.
No, it's brilliant. I love it.
It's also the first comp to watch lead again, and it's like, I don't know, I've also haven't seen Jakob climb lead this season, so it's just, I don't know. It always makes me nervous.
Look,
and he always delivers, so I shouldn't be that nervous, but still.
You be as nervous as you want, Hannah. This is
There have
excellent.
been so many foot slips in that route,
I know,
too.
it could
And he had
happen.
a foot slip in qualification, too. Like, he still stayed on the wall and made a high point in the route. So, yeah, but he had one already. So it was enough for the day, Jakob, okay? Thanks.
Okay, well, here we go. 6 minutes on the clock. 2 hard routes, 2 Austrian athletes. What can they do? Can they make a dent in the leaderboard? Can they get into finals? Jakob Schubert on the left,
Climbing
Jesse Pilz.
simultaneously, yeah. And both of them are athletes that actually are one of them complaining that there's not enough time to train endurance and they don't have enough endurance and stuff. And now they're like leading qualifications. So, yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, I've trained with Jessie quite a lot recently and I would say she's in a really good shape. But she's also like very critical with herself, and she also, until she doesn't have the comparison to the other international people, she really doesn't know where she stands at. So she knows she's good at training, but she has no idea how the others would do in the route she's trying. So it's always interesting for her to see as well.
Jakob swings out. He's through that move, that the first opportunity to fall, gets it done. And Jesse, with this awkward hand match, completes that sequence as well. Jakob rests, really the only comfortable resting position on this route. Comes up, powering through. Bumps the hand, then gets the left toe in. Jesse, meanwhile, is on the blocked crimps.
You would think, I have watched them both so many times, I would be less nervous watching them, but I'm not.
Hannah, it's honestly wonderful. Please be nervous. This is, I mean, I am nervous watching this. All right, Jakob up. My hands are so sweaty. Okay, so Jakob is
Why
in.
are you not doing the clip? Oh my God.
So
I'm
Jakob
just
clips.
so nervous.
Jessica Pilz comes up. This is the first time that Jessie could have a moment. This is important to get this dish. Slow and steady for her. Comes up, no issues.
She used a different foot positioning there. Like pretty unsteady on those, like on the right one. I don't think a lot of people use that right foot. And also the left one, the blocked one. But she made it work, so
Yeah, and
all good.
Jakob's through the cut loose as well. So he needs to be precise through here as he starts to work his way to the left. And Jessie resting beautifully on the crimps.
They're both on the same height too.
Oh, yeah, pacing each other up.
Jessie overtaking Jakob now. But I think compared to other male competitors, he's kind of more the slower person. Like when he climbs, he's quick, but then he likes to rest properly and stays on one spot for a while, which makes us even more nervous, by the way. Like all of our family. Just saying.
So here is Jakob, and this is where things might get foot poppy. So a little bump, but it's fine. He adjusted it. And then Jessie into the crimps on the right of your screen. Jakob, watch that right heel. Left hand pinch into the crimp. No issues so far. Brings the left through. Bumps, and that is the foot slip we were worried about, but he recovers. Moves out right. Oh, bit of trouble reading this, having to work as he snatches up. But now gets a heel and he rests
What was
again.
that right toe? Nobody used that before.
Didn't, and Jakob having to drill it in. He's moving into 12th position now, still outside of the finals place. Jessie with the heel. Crosses through. We know there's a good toe hook coming up. She's in 13th.
Jessie still looks really solid, to be honest.
She is looking solid. So she'll look for the toe. Doesn't need the toe jam. Bumps up to the sloper. Look for the left high left heel here as Jakob steps up as well. Jessie moves up to the sloper. Bumps again. That heel not choosing to rest for a long period there. She's into 10th. And Jakob reaching out, thumb pressing. This is where things are really having to get hard for him. Reaches up statically. Willy frog
really
squat.
Weird foot position from him there.
And he can't find it, and we lose Jakob Schubert. We wait for these scores to be updated to see where
It's
he's
enough
at.
for finals, though.
Okay.
I know it already.
Hannah's happy. Jessie, meanwhile. So Jessie needs one more hole to be safe into a finals position. That's how close she is. She won't know that, though.
Yeah, it puts Jakob into 4th place, tied with Yannick and Luka Potoka. So
Jakob is safe. Hannah can breathe. Jessie, meanwhile, is on the wall still.
come on, Jessie.
Toes up. That could be enough for her. Moves through. Needs to make the clip to progress. She does. That is safe for her now, so she can. She doesn't know it, but she can enjoy this next sequence.
Yeah, she's safe too. Woo! We can breathe, guys.
We can all breathe. I don't know why I was getting so nervous. I'm neutral here, and yet I did.
The comedy box is small. I was just like putting all my...
Exactly. It affected
it
me
affected
here in the
you
box.
Too. Sorry.
It's fine. I love getting into it. So, Jessie. Oh, my goodness. So many emotions. Jessie out up to the first crimp.
Looking good. Nice, Jessie.
It's the whole atmosphere of the arena, though, because it's Austrian athletes, everyone, the tension rises.
Yeah, the tension rises. Oh, also chooses the heel that Brooke did. Looked really solid. Is she going to go for static? Yes, she's going to go for the static.
So this last press, and I've got to say, Jessie Pilz looked impressive throughout that route.
Yeah, that looked really solid, to be honest. Nice. Might have been the easiest top we've seen. Not sure, but it looked really, really solid. There was never like a move where it was like, oh, she's going to fall.
Yeah, it was solid
really
throughout. It wasn't a foot
yeah.
pop, wasn't a moment. She didn't really rest that much either.
She chose her rest really wisely. And when she stopped, she just shook out a little bit, but only like to compose herself, look at the route again, and then just do it. But yeah, I feel like it's a bit funny because I feel like when you look at the qualification process, kind of, I feel like for bouldering, Jakob always says the hardest is to survive qualification, and once he's in semis, it's easier. But he's the most nervous in qualification. Whereas in lead, I feel like, I don't know if it's the same for him, but for me, I'm the most nervous in semis to watch him, because that's like the next step. Because surviving qualification in lead is like honestly no problem for him because he's so good. But then the step from semis to finals is like the one where I'm a bit more nervous because with an early foot slip you can just be out. But in qualification, when you have a foot slip in one with a top in the other, if you're really good, you can still kind of make a difference.
More of a lottery.
Yeah.
Well, that was Jessie Pilz topping out the route. Excellent from her. Looked very, very strong.
3 tops for her.
3 tops. We'll see her climb tomorrow. Tomorrow evening is the men and women's final. Jessie waving to her home crowd, and there is the man of the hour. Jakob Schubert raises his hand up, the last athlete out, and he qualifies into tomorrow's final. So job done for Jakob Schubert. That was the move up, shaking out as he reached to the crimps.
In slow-mo, that looks so weird.
I know, it's strange, isn't it?
But yeah, he shows the bit of a... First he had that drop knee too, but then he switched the left foot, like this to the other side, but with a heel. So that was a really uncomfortable position, I think, where he couldn't really sit on it like Jessie did, for example.
Yeah, that was it. Spat him off, but it was enough for the final, so we will see Jakob back in his home stadium tomorrow. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in some kind of strange, poetic twist of fate, if you have been missing a certain Olympic gold medalist from your screens, you're about to have your fill. Just after we have a look at this leaderboard, Jessie Gruber at the top, Jakob Schubert gets in. Well, the announcer is calling it, because about to enter our arena is a lady who we haven't seen since Maringin. Janja Garnbret is back on our screens. And you can hear from the reaction of the crowd and a smile on her face that I think she has been missing this arena, this feeling.
And I think everyone knows her here in the audience. She's not unknown. Some people have seen her before.
Yes, she is fairly familiar to us all now, and she has her eyes firmly set on the lead season this year. But first of all, she needs to get through this semi-final route. And as we know, anything can happen in the next 6 minutes. So, our final athlete, Janja Garnbret, will climb by herself, as there are more women than men in this competition qualifying through. Let's see what Janja can do. It's great to see her back, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. Actually, because we don't expect her to fall in the first part, or not too soon. I can tell a funny story because I was a bit embarrassed today because I was talking to her, as I said before, like about, skipping bouldering World Cups and stuff, how was it? And then my dad walked over, and he knows her as well because she stepped at our place for a few nights and also knows her from competitions and stuff. He was like, hey, long time no see. And she was like, yeah, it has been a while. And he was like, yeah, when you're resting all the time. I was like, oh my God. Dad, that's Janja Garnbret. She's not resting. She's training. She's not resting. And he was like, yeah, I feel like chilling all the time. And I was like, hey, that's a bit uncomfortable. Obviously, she didn't take it too seriously. I mean, my dad is like
Sure,
He's
yeah.
like that. This was just a joke. He just meant not doing the bouldering World Cup, obviously. But yeah, that was just a moment where it was like, I guess everyone knows it when you're just standing next to your daddy and like, can you please just
We've
not
all,
talk anymore?
sure, we've all felt that.
Yeah, that kind of parent embarrassment.
Absolutely. Well, here is Janja. She comes into the block crimps, and let's talk for a sec about pressure, because in a way, I feel like the pressure is more on her at this moment because we haven't seen her, because we know she's been focusing on lead climbing. It's
true, but I mean, we've seen her handling pressure so many times before. Immense pressure.
But it's easy to forget. She talked to me and she told me how she got very emotional after her home World Cup last year. She said, I feel it. I feel the pressure. It doesn't show it, but it's there. And it's true because she has to deal with a lot. And the eyes...
Obviously she feels it. I mean, the pressure at the Olympics was immense because
immense.
everyone expects her to win. And yeah, that's just one of the most impressive things.
Yeah. But look how solid she is for this bottom half. She doesn't want to make an early mistake. She'll know there's tops in this final. She would have heard the crowd go crazy. The announcer is not quiet, so she would have heard it.
I'm pretty sure all the competitors, from the first top on, they kind of knew what's going on. So, yeah. Pretty sure Jessie knew that there were tops, and that's why she was even happier that she could do it too.
Absolutely. So Janja, halfway up already. Smooth, slow, calm from her.
I know she's not there yet, but she would be one of those people who could do the last move like Natalia tried it.
Yes.
I mean, wouldn't risk it, but...
That could certainly happen for her. Right, swinging now. Janja starting to get into the flow. She's a different kind of style from her, just very precise. Make sure of that left foot. We've seen slips there before. Out to the sloper.
It's just the joy watching her climb, I think.
Yeah, it's lovely work from her. She cruises through. Starting to relax into this now.
Oh, she's not going to do the heel on the left.
I think she's spotted it now, maybe. But yeah, her body weight. There's the heel.
Now it is, yeah. Because she was looking on the right, for some other possibilities.
Swings up and round. Doesn't rest on that heel at all, but rests now. Don't worry, it's just the camera flick. She hasn't fallen. It's all good. So, into the quick draw. That's the foot that she's pressing again.
And she's already safe into the finals, so...
Yeah, so is she? Yeah,
so,
now she is. Yep, there we go.
We know that for sure now.
So Janja, good performance from her. Very, very steady. Jessie had a similar thing. She just kept on cruising.
Just slow and steady.
Yeah, putting it in fourth gear, sitting back.
Exactly, yeah.
If we're going to car analogy it up. So now she shakes out. How will she work out this last move? Interesting stuff. Out to the crimp.
She's looking so unbelievably solid.
She is. I mean, this is a long way.
Okay, is she thinking about...
Oh, she is thinking about the press. Oh, okay, this is quite a tricky sequence to do this. Yeah, no, she's going to... I think she might sink back down, but she has committed to it.
The problem is, can she go back even?
Yeah, that's what I mean. She's now she's gone into the press. It's not that easy.
But she probably saw that there was no chalk on the top hold, but...
She's going to have to go for it here, and she's going to pop, which is no... Again, she reconsiders. Now brings the left leg, but it is a bit of a battle. Look at that.
Oh, okay.
Well, there we go.
Good reconsideration there.
Yeah, that was...
Nicely done.
That was very good from her.
Fourth top. Yeah, because I also feel like... I don't know, I feel like in the past, sometimes, because Janja just knew that she was in such a good shape, and she basically was sometimes even trying stuff a bit too motivated. So I feel like in some situations she would have just committed to it and done it right away without reconsidering it. Probably she would have also been able to do it, but just now I feel like that really showed how thoughtful she was about everything, that she was reconsidering, okay, can I do it differently, and not just doing it right away. Even though she probably would have been one of the only ones to send it also as a jump, but instead it was good that she changed her mind. Do it the safe way.
So Janja Garnbret is done. Had to piece it together at the top, but that is what it takes to be a champion. When things get a little bit tough, she just pulled it together. And you have to say, I mean, that was just ridiculously good. I mean, there's not a lot of other words for it. She just cruised through. Very similar to Jessie. Every move looks solid from her. So we will wait to get the confirmation of that leaderboard on screen as we watch some highlights of Janja. Lovely climbing from her. Kicking the leg out. Didn't really rest in that heel. Neither did Jessie. Didn't need it particularly.
Yeah, I think they both didn't rest so well, so much. If you don't need it, why rest? Why waste time?
Exactly.
If you still feel fresh.
This is where she had to work it out. Tried to get the foot up, but it's so awkward in that position.
Yeah, it was for sure harder like this.
Yeah. Just adds a plus to that grade there for Janja. And the clip. So yeah, she was pressing with that right foot. Olympic rings there. Is that Olympic rings? Yeah, I think it is the Olympic rings. And then, yeah, crosses through that left foot. That's what she had to turn it into to get that done. Then the top. So this is shaping up to be a good final tomorrow. And please, I hope you can come and join us. Kicks off at 7 p.m. Central European time for the lead women, and then scheduled for 8:15 for the men. So the men will be the last athletes out for this incredible week of IFSC climbing.
I think we're going to get the results now, but I'm pretty sure there are 9 men in finals. Okay, we're going to get the women first. I called it. Vita Lukan is in finals. I mean, it got close, but I was pretty sure that she's going to end up at the top. Or like not at the top, but like in the top 10, for example.
We're going to have to just recheck the rules on because so many athletes topped out there. We didn't have a qualifying round. So it's going to be interesting in the finals. I think it comes down to time at that point.
Yeah.
I was checking with the chief setter.
Yeah,
so
I don't know if you remember that like really tough decision between Janja and Jessie at World Champs 2018. It was because of time, because they topped all routes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's really hard. It's like a pressure on the route setters now, even more than usual.
Yeah, and the athletes, because not only do you need to top out, but you also need to top out quickly, which is going to start to play into their heads. Well, we'll discuss all this tomorrow. That is the bottom of the list. We're just looking at that top 8. So the women's route took a while to be topped. Brooke Rabatu the first to do so. Sorry, Natalia first to do so. Let's see some slow motion before we get the men's confirmation results. Right, so awesome scenes from the women. Let's check out the men, and there are going to be 9 men in the men's final because of those 2 groups in the qualies. Alex Magos squeaking in down the bottom. Jessie Gruper, hello, welcome to the IFSC finals.
Wow, that was amazing. Like, he put on that show really early in the semi, but stayed on top of there for a very long time.
Well, we'll dig deep and find out more information about that man. So that is our top 9 for the men. Jakob Schubert gave me and Hannah here some moments. As I said, I am neutral, but I got really affected by the whole atmosphere. No, it's great. I got
and it was
so
double
into
as
it.
high because of Jessie. Like, why did you do that to me?
I don't. Well, I mean, organisers. I mean, come on, Hannah's heart here. Give her a break.
But it worked out for the best, so we can do it all again tomorrow at finals. Oh no.
So that is the top 20, the 26, but only the top 9 get through. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching tonight's semi-finals. My name is Matt Groom. I've been here with Hannah Schubert. What moments from the men? We will be back 7 p.m. tomorrow for the lead final for the women, 8:15 for the men. It's going to be a tense one. Don't miss a second. And we will return to your screens tomorrow night.
Thanks for having me. Bye.